What is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Brea Thorne. How you doing? Oh boy. Yeah, the stream notification just works, Natty. That's what that is. It just works. But what's going on? Chris, I see you there. Hope you travel safely and rejoin us once you return home. Exiled Wolf, how you doing? But yeah, the stream notification just works really well. Sorry. What's up, Bone Shock? How's it going? 35 streams, Exiled Wolf. Good Lord. And Onward just dropped a tier 1 sub. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for the 10 months of support, my friend. Though you've supported much longer than that. I know that. Just not just in a even more important way, I would say. I appreciate you. What's up, Bergie? How's it going? Welcome. I need to get everything I normally have opened. There's that. There's that. Okay. Going on 5 years now. No kidding. Yeah, we're here. We're doing the thing. We're hanging out, and that's fun. That's awesome. We love that. I hate to say it. There's gonna be a couple missed streams next week. I know I've been missing streams here and there because of like CES and things like that. It just be like that sometimes, but this time it's for an even more important reason. Ari, my girlfriend, mic is a bit low. Okay. Well, no, so music was a bit high. That's what it was. Music was a bit high. There's even a more important reason for this. Ari, my girlfriend, has been working and has not had a vacation in a while. So we are taking a little vacation, going out of town. So I will be back on Wednesday. So Sunday and Tuesday, make appropriate plans to entertain yourselves otherwise in the evening, because we're going to be out having a good time. Yeah, I don't know, Onward. I don't know what to tell you. It should be better now. It's looking like the levels are pretty good. Let me actually raise it up a little bit here in Meld. There we go. Yeah, I'm sending out good levels. If it's anything else, it would be Twitch, I guess. But yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me actually. It doesn't seem like there's anything I can do in order to raise the volume here. Let me see. Let me check it out. Let me go to filters. All right, let's see how that's looking. Yeah, that made a big old difference. But raising your output gain will do that. I just need to be careful so it's not the music too, just on the Twitch side. Let me see. That's not too bad. And plus having I don't know, let me see. Just a little bit higher. Yeah, that's raising the music a little more than I like. But hey, there we go. Maybe your compression filter. Well, no, I didn't have one on Twitch specifically. I have it on here. It's, yeah, I don't know. I did adjust my compression to sort of even things out. But yeah, what's up, Blaze Player? How's it going? New PC arrived today in the process of setting up right now. Awesome. Happy to hear it. So as long as I have my audio ducking on for the music, it should be fine on the Twitch side. The audio kind of gets out of the way whenever I start talking. It's instantaneous. That should do the trick. So yeah, Sunday and Tuesday, there will not be a stream. Like I could even do an IRL stream or something, but I'm not doing that. I'm specifically not working while I am out there. The only thing that might be somewhat work related is that while we're going to be going through Austin and San Antonio, we might stop by some card shops. And if I do, and I pick anything up, I'll just film a little thing of me getting it, and then that's footage for the beginning of whatever content we make from that. That's the most work I'm willing to do while we're on this trip. So there you go. Be back to streaming on Thursday. And yeah, we're gonna do our best to enjoy it. And when we get back, I'm gonna be ready to lock in and finally start uploading stuff to the main channel. If you've got stuff ready to go. I'm Chad. Maybe y'all can help me out with this. Help us out with this, because I'm like trying to decide what to do with all of the early content before I started getting the higher quality stuff. Okay, so I have the option to basically like start the channel content from the card show in Vegas and moving forward from there. That's where I started recording like how many new cards for the Pokédex there were, how many old cards or how many old cards were upgraded, that kind of thing. But there were certain things that were a lot of fun from early content. So I don't know. Just like the beginnings of the Pokédex, opening the first ETBs that I got, opening the first UPC that I got, the Charizard EX Ultra Premium Collection that I got back then. That was really good stuff, but I don't know what the quality is going to be like of that footage, because I didn't have like the setup yet that I use now. So post chronologically, I don't know. It's like we have better quality now. It's our first impression, but no, it's true. We should like, that was money I spent on cards and stuff. So I shouldn't let that go to waste. And people will expect a newer channel to have a scaling up in quality. That's not unusual. Yeah, that's true. The only thing onward is that because it's a different setup from like this one here, it's going to be, why is that hidden? Hold on. There we go. Because it's a different setup from this, whatever routine you're going to be setting up to just crank these things out will change up a little bit as the content evolves. Like my camera angle changes. I didn't have anything figured out yet. But really, like, it doesn't need... The thing about it is, I sent you that short talking about how to make effective short form content, make it entertaining and all of that, because I don't want to just like have it be all about me yapping. That's what the tech content is for. Where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that. No, yeah. Another note that was in that short from Pat was, you don't need all the crazy effects. Those can come later. You don't need a bunch of crazy effects and animations and all kinds of stuff like that. So the beginning, we keep it simple so that you can really just like get it out there. Braxton1823 coming in with a tier 3 sub. Let's go, nerds. Braxton, thank you for that tier 3. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. 23 months of support. Good Lord. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, bass player. Once you got that all set up, your new PC, take a good picture of it, post picture in rigs. If you want, you can document the whole like unboxing and setup process and like how it was for you. Put that in a testimonial. All those things. Like the first thing is fun. The second one is helpful. Whichever you feel like doing, we will appreciate. Observer of Thoughts, what's up? Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate that. Now I have some an exciting development here. So, as some of y'all know, and probably a lot of y'all might not follow this stuff, there was a new set that was supposed to drop from Pokemon, and it's called Ascended Heroes. Now, if you remember this Mega Dreams EX, these cards that I did, the boxes that I did, That was a Japanese version of this. So yeah, we're already going to have a bunch of those cards. The thing is, there are new cards added for Ascended Heroes for the English set. And I think it has the most illustration rares and SARs than like, or SIRs than like any set, perhaps. There's some out there with a lot though. But it was supposed to launch with 2 main products, and then they canceled it and only launched 1 product. And you couldn't find them I couldn't find them anywhere. And well, it was this. The tech sticker pack with 3 packs of Ascended Heroes in it, some stickers and a promo card. That's a pretty normal card. I had to search high and low, and I eventually just ended up paying more than I should have for one of these. Okay, honestly, for 2 of these, really. All right, it was 4 of them. Okay, four of these. I'm weak, and I'm sorry, but that's 12 packs of Ascended Heroes in our hands. That's more than an ETB's worth of packs. I do have pre-orders in place for ETBs. Those are supposed to either arrive or ship out on February 20th, just later this month. Why did I get 3 ETBs, though? I still don't know why I did 3 of those. I really like the Mega Attack rares, though. You've seen me pull some of them, where it has the attack going across it. You've seen me pull some of them. But, so yeah, that's added to the rotation. So 2 of these are on the wheel now as a Mega Pack. But regardless, we're going to do these 2 tonight. Had everybody finally getting to unbox and set up the new PC. Working on it right now. Finally getting to, huh? Has just been waiting for you. What's up, humanity? Yeah, why buy 1 when you can have 4? I figure if I'm already paying a little extra for it, I'm going to pay a lot extra for it. I don't know. I just wanted to have more. I just wanted to have enough to make a fun video or 2 out of it. And I mean, whether it's opening the six packs individually or turning them into a 60-card mega pack, doesn't matter. It'll be fun. The pull rates are kind of I guess they're not insanely good, and the pull rate is not insanely bad. So it's not like Prismatic Evolution's pull rates where they're really bad, but some of the most valuable cards ever made are in it, or like Evolving Skies, right? But it's also not going to be like this version where the pull rates were kind of crazy. Like every box would have either an illustration rare or an art rare or an SAR, a special art rare, I think they call it. Here we call those secret illustration rares, but I might have those backwards. Anyways, I promise I won't yap just forever about Pokemon stuff. That's not the goal here. I've also changed my lighting. I think I mentioned this to you guys last time. I have changed the lighting to where it's not directly overhead now, so it won't reflect right back into the camera, but there will be shadows. I'm still working on that. But once I have this setup done over here, it's going to be much better. That will, again, yes, change the format. Sorry, Onward. But actually, we're going to aim for the same format, where it's going to be like me right here, the center right here for vertical, and then chat right here. Or we use like this whole section for a wider shot. Initial setup pics are already in the Discord. I'll post testimony after I put it through its paces. Nice. Sounds good. Really, Onward, it's going to be about what text style we use and having that preset music that we like to use. Like that's going to be, it can be different from the tech videos. And here's a funny thing. I don't know if copyright matters in short form content. I see people use copyrighted music all the time. What's the deal with that? What do you mean? How? Why? It's the same. Like, I don't get it. It's the platform. It's the same. This is still YouTube. But like, from what I understand, ad revenue from shorts isn't great unless you're getting millions and millions and millions of views. But I don't know. We'll see. What's up, Package? How's it going? Welcome in. Got a new mouse pad. Haven't had one in ages, and I can't stand the bumps. Can't stand the bumps? Bumps on the mouse pad? What do you mean? Did you get a sandpaper mouse pad? That's not the kind you want. It's wavy. It'll work out. It'll flatten out. Depends on niche. I think for gaming, it's about $60, $70 per million views. That's like $2,000 for long form content. Unless that's changed. I think it's changed dramatically to where it's like dropped, but not. Yeah. It got delivered like 20 seconds. Yeah, you just unpacked it. You'll be fine. Let me get my form open here. The spreadsheet open here. By the way, what's up to my lurkers? Even those who are lurking so thoroughly, they can't do the lurk emote. I appreciate you regardless. Thank you for being here. Y'all are awesome. Like, that's just dedication. I'm sure I made what I find to be hilarious animated emote for the subscribed lurkers anyway. There's a non-animated one for people who are just following too. And it always drops in January. It's recovering now. Yeah. Wonder how much money Mr. Beast got from his 2 shorts with 1+ billion views. $30. What's up, Bill DeBurr? How's it going? Welcome. I've already got a hydrate. Okay. I don't have water with me right now. I drank a ton of water today. Relax. Thank you, Peckish. Thank you, Astral, for the lurk emotes there. Thank you. I think his shorts are more like $100 per million. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna. I'm sure Mr. Beast has the ear of YouTube. So if you think about it, $100 per million. If you get 1 billion views, that is a million. So that is $100 million from one short. What's up, Triple B? How's it going? Welcome. Yeah, I doubt they're doing $100 per million there. I just it doesn't. I don't know. You feel like once you get past like 10 million, they lower the amount because, like, let's not get crazy here. You dumb creator. What do you think you're going to get? Mr. Beast, you got enough money. You're fine. Stop spending all your money on the next 3 videos. And maybe you won't be so worried about your amount of money you're getting. Anyway, I can't believe I haven't ripped into these yet. I really, really want to. I've been waiting for these. Okay. Nobody on the list right now, so I don't have to feel guilty for doing. Well, I always do Pokemon stuff first anyway. Guys, I want y'all to understand. I really love talking about computers. I talked about this in the last stream, explaining my reasoning for why I've added Pokemon stuff to these streams. My brain and my heart need a break. This landscape is demoralizing to an extreme I cannot explain with my many words. So I feel like, there was that one person who like commented, Pokemon cards, how old are you? Old enough to need to open Pokemon cards to stay sane. Did that help? I hope that information helped you in your daily life. Find what makes you happy. When you're unhappy, you can find what makes you happy. There's things we've got, things that we have that available to us that can help cope when things are rough. Learn what those things are for you. And if they're healthy things, encourage that in yourself. There you go. I Abstract I says $1,500. Sure, I'll let you know where to send it. Thank you. $1,500 for my son's birthday. Well, I mean, I imagine your son would be used to getting gifts rather than you giving me $1,500, but sure thing. Thank you. Abstract, how are you doing? Welcome. Hello. Are you asking for help with a computer? I do need context. And if you are asking for that, take a look at the description of the stream. There's a link there that you would need to fill out for me to help you out. It's a form that you fill out so that I don't have to try to just fish a bunch of information out of you. Instead, you just provide me with the helpful information that you should be giving someone who's going to give you advice on spending $1,500 of your hard-earned money. What's up, Chris? Welcome back. I am well. It's very understanding to have a plan B, never put all your eggs in one basket, but it's also just for my sanity's sake. Mikey, hey, buddy, how's it going? How you been? Any good pulls recently? Yeah, some pretty good ones. Nothing since like Zekrom. Zekrom is still my top pull, 100%. But then again, that was the third most valuable card printed last year. So like, how am I going to top that? There's two other options, and I didn't pull those. But I did get Ascended Heroes. I have some Ascended Heroes packs that I've been waiting on. So yes, this stream is PCs and Pokemon cards. Okay, that's what it is now. If you're waiting on help, you're on the list. You do need to let me know. Currently, there is nobody waiting for help on the list. I like the way I introed these. I'm going to copy that for Onward. What am I doing? Why don't I do some of the Pokemon stuff in this view? Why don't I do that? I can just switch over to the other one anytime. Is that dumb? Have I been dumb? I think so, a little bit. But this is on the FX3, whereas the other one is on the Osmo Pocket 3. I also pulled that camera back a little bit so you could zoom in a little more. Again, I'm going to be refining that as I go. It's actually not as pulled back as I thought, but you know what? That's fine. Look at that. One button press. I should actually use this view right here so that you can zoom in and stuff. Okay, that's better. As someone who recently got into Pokemon cards, has scalping always been this bad? It's been this bad for a long time. Obviously not always, like in the 90s and the 2010s or the aughts. Hanging in there, super slow start to the year. I'm thankful to be able to spend more time with my kids. That's the silver lining, Mikey. That's it. That's the one. Glad to hear that. I mean, not the other part, but you know. Okay, recording here. Let's get it going. Well, that kind of ruins the thing, but it's going to be vertical. What am I talking about? It's going to be vertical. All right, there we go. What's up, Tech Blacksmith? How's it going? Welcome. Okay. What is that? Is that my phone? That's my phone. Okay. As you probably know, the new set from Pokemon, Ascended Heroes, finally dropped. Except it didn't. They canceled part of it. They were going to have 2 products, and then they only released 1. And then the rest is coming out. Some more is coming out February 20th, like the ETBs. And then there's more coming out later than that. I don't know. I don't care. I finally spent a little too much to get one of these tech sticker packs. The only thing that launched. I spent too much on 1, and well, I figured I might as well spend a little too much on 2. And then I was like, well, I mean, why stop there? Let's get a little bit more than that. So that's it. We have 12 packs of Ascended Heroes here. I don't want to go crazy and buy up all of the cards I can get, so I just wanted to get some to see what I could pull out of these. So we're going to save 6 of these packs for the wheel, but right now we're opening up 2. Okay. Let me actually redo that because we're not opening just 2 packs. We're going to save 6 of these packs for the wheel. But for right now, we're going to open up these first 6 and see what we get. Okay, tech sticker collection. Check out blister. Are they check lane blisters? Are they? What are we? I don't know. I don't know. I already opened a bunch of Mega Dreams. I opened 2 boxes of the Mega Dreams high class boxes. Whatever they were. The pull rates on that were insanely good. From what I understand, it's not as good here, but there are so many illustration rares, mega attack rares, which I really love. MARs. This is sealed pretty well. And of course, SIRs. Some of the most insane, like the currently selling for $1,000 Gengar, which of course one of my favorite Pokemon, but that's not unique to me. It's a lot of people's favorite Pokemon, but it's just in my top 10 for sure. Love Gengar. So let's see what else is in here. Get the 3rd pack right there. These, I don't know why they're called tech stickers. I don't know what is technological about these. But I mean, you have Charmander and you have Mega Charizard. Why? Because they wanted to. No, it's Mega Charizard Y. And then you get this fairly normal, but it's got like this. It's got like the starry sort of galactic hollow foil on it. It's just not if you don't have a Charmander already for your Pokedex, that's a pretty nice one. Or if you're trying to build a Charizard deck, this is if you get a few of these, you have enough for your deck. There you go. And I'm going to have some matching ones if I ever build a Charizard deck for myself. So there you have it. That I think might even be an upgrade for my Charizard. That I think might even be an upgrade for my Charmander in my Pokedex. So that's these 3. Let's open up this other blister as well. They are technically stickers. Thank you, Onware. Onward, let me ask you something. Would you prefer that I stay this zoomed out on the top down? Like, because this should get some pretty good focus. Do you want to zoom in yourself, or do you want me to just do that? This way, it does help me make sure that I'm in focus. That's the only real benefit to it. I've been playing the Pokemon TCG game on my GBC emulator. My deck is a Charizard deck. Nice. Great Major, what's up? Okay, this is good right here, or zoomed out. Okay, well, so this is our okay, back to it. This is our second stack of 3, just so we know which pack was which, but I'm basically counting all 6 of these together. So let's see what we can pull here. I did pull some pretty nice cards from the Mega Dreams. Zoomed out. I'll do somewhere in the middle. How about that? Because this is better for chat. Yeah, better than fully zoomed out. All right, pack number 1. Let's see what we get. What's going to be my favorite way of opening these? It's a little different for every set. Yeah, it's a little tough to open this way, but you know what? After you start it up, it comes right open, nice and clean. Okay, we have our basic energy. I'm going to have a lot of these cards, but in Japanese, which I kind of want to keep Japanese cards in my full Pokédex, because then it's not a national Pokédex, then it's an international Pokédex. Ghastly, Swirlix, Vanillish, Skitty. I think Skitty might be new for the Pokédex. Nice. Forest of Vitality, Team Rocket's Mimikyu, Salazzle. Oh boy, oops. Oh, I almost skipped this. I almost skipped the. Why is it the first pack every time? It's always the first pack. Erica's Tangela. Illustration rare. Look at that. There, let's get some of that gleam in there. Always with the first pack. Okay, do we get a double? We got a Friend Ball Croconaw. We got a triple? No, it's a standard hollow Macargo. But this is nice, actually. I didn't have Croconaw. This is perfect. But, oh man, this is really gorgeous. All right, here. Okay, doing this is a little difficult. Really, really nice card. But yeah, I was missing Croconaw out of that evolution line. So, okay. There we go. And you know what? Yeah. Lovely. Great start. Okay. So you can just hang out right there. Pack number 2. Sure thing. Here we go. Let's try this. Let's try it this way. Yeah, that opened really easily that way. I watch people who watch PokeRev rip a pack. It's like insane. Just crazy. All right. Larry's Kamala. Okay, let me do that again. Just because I want to make sure I'm in focus and I'm at the same place for the whole pack. There we go. Larry's Kamala, Dreepy, Chikorita. That's a really cute Chikorita. Okay, that is really cute. Helioptile. Okay. Frostmoth. Team Rocket's Ariana. Haunter. Ooh, we have an energy Pikachu. Energy reverse Pikachu. That's what it means whenever you see like an energy, like fighting energy or lightning energy here. That's what those are classified as. So reverse energy Pikachu is really cute. Like, look at that Pikachu art. It's not going to beat the Pikachu card that I found recently, but yeah. Ooh, wait, what ball is this? What kind of ball is that supposed to be? It's a little hard for me to tell. I'm sorry. We'll put it up on the screen. But there's Lunatone and Regirock EX. Okay, that's the star of the show with that pack. Ha 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 ha. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, that's 2 hits. Well, if you look at the different Pokeball versions as well, I mean those can count as hits too. It's just there's too many to track. Like trying to master set Ascended Heroes, I don't know how anyone's going to even do it. Also, if the thing confused you, just look up Regirock, okay? And the Reggies in general, they're great. Just from the anime, they're great. Okay. Does Ascended Heroes have hollow energies? That's one of my favorite things in a set. That makes me want to go to rip open a lot of that set if there's potential for a lot of hollow energies. Okay, Ono's Tadbulb, Riolu, Dunsparce, Buddy Poffin, Darmanitan, Ends Darmanitan, Erica's Weepinbell, Triple P, Premium Power Pro. Ooh, Reverse Ultra Ball. And then we have a Friend Ball Okidogi, which could be I think it's an upgrade for my current Okidogi in the Pokedex, and a Hollow Trevenant. Not a big deal there. I'm going to go ahead and sleeve this Friend Ball Okidogi. Okay, so that was the first 3. The first one yielded, I mean, a few of these, different Pokeball cards, and also the Regirock EX, and of course Erica's Tangela. Sound off in the comments. Do you say Tangela or Tangela, like Angela, or Tangela like Tangle? Because that's kind of the whole thing, right? Moving on to the second one here. The second blister pack, so our 4th pack overall. I'm going to try to speed this up just a little bit. Erica's Oddish, that is cute art for that Oddish. Ralts, I know it's Tadbulb, Riolu, Thick Scale, Iris's Fighting Spirit. We got the SAR for this out of, I think, we got the SIR for this out of Mega Dreams. Solrock, Larry's Dunsparce reverse energy card. That's really nice. It's like a mirror. Look at that foil. Wow. Well, okay, I got to know. What kind of ball is this? I'm going to keep getting these, and I don't know which ball that is. Any idea? You know what? Hold on. Let me see. See if I can figure this out. I know I'm right in the middle of it. I'm sorry. Bringing up Rare Candy, and I'm just going to scan it. That's the loudest shutter picture, by the way. It just gives me normal Solrock. Wait, hold on. Let me cycle through this. Yeah, it's not Ascended Hero. It just variant. Oh, Dusk Ball. It's a Dusk Ball. Because the Dusk Ball reverse is the only ball version of this. So it's a Dusk Ball. So we got a Dusk Ball reverse Solrock. Yeah, okay. And I didn't even look at the last card yet. It is a Hollow Togekiss, which I already had. I like these a lot. I don't know if they're really like something I would want to collect, but second to last pack, the penultimate pack. Gonna start waking up in the middle of the night because you were dreaming about opening Pokemon packs, going through pack opening withdrawals. Thornton Willie, I'm very sorry. Abstract and Rocky, I see y'all filled out forms. I will be getting back to that after this, after I finish this video recording. Okay, penultimate pack. One left after this. I swear, if I find out that there are hollow energies and ascended heroes, I will be fast on my way to financial ruin because I want to get as many of those as I can. Slugma, rule number 1: do not make the obvious joke. Pawniard, Murkrow, Togepi. That's a cute Togepi. It's just sleeping. Clefable. I don't think I have Togepi actually. Good. Clefable, Team Rocket's Great Ball, Mighty Yena. Pawniard energy card. Nice. And then we get the Quick Ball Dynamo. Reverse. And Spectrier Hollow. That is a really nice Spectrier artwork, though. Look at that. Very cool looking. You know what? I'm going to sleeve that. I like that card. Generally, if something is foil of any kind or hollow of any kind, I sleeve it afterwards. But yeah. All right. Final pack. Last pack mojo. Come on, buddy. Help us out here. Buddy RGB is going to give us that last pack mojo. Let's see what we get. Okay. Energy, of course. Wurmple, Charmander, Psyduck, Meryl. I don't think I have Meryl yet. I might, though. I might. There's a lot of cards I haven't indexed yet with my Pokedex. So there's some that I just don't remember putting in the Pokedex because I haven't gotten around to it yet. Larry's Braviary, Weavile, Reverse Night Stretcher, Quick Ball Reverse Tapu Koko. That might be, I think I have a Tapu Koko EX maybe, though. And finally, last card. Ooh, Mega Halucha EX. I got this from Mega Dreams. I'm very happy to get it in English too. That is awesome. Yeah, let's go. The question is this, chat. Which do I do? Do I leave the Japanese card in the Pokédex? Or do I replace it with now that I have the English one? I like having Japanese cards. Having Chinese cards in there. I want cards from all of the, I think, 14 languages that Pokemon cards are printed in to be part of that Pokedex. Keep the Japanese one for international. This goes into the EX collection then. Okay, from those sets, here's what we got. Let me just sum this all up here. Why did that go there? Didn't mean to put that there. Of course, we got some hollows, but we also got a bunch of different 2 friend ball Pokemon there. We have the Dusk Ball here for Soul Rock. Hello, focus. There we go. Energy Pawniard, Dynamo, Quick Ball. There's a bunch, and there's some in this stack over here that I didn't bring out for this. So that's awesome. But then we got, wait, where did I put the EX? It was in here, actually. There it is. But these are our major hits. I need to look at the values of the Pokemon cards. I don't really care. The Pokeball cards. I don't really care too much. But yeah, these EXs were really nice. For 2 blister packs, not too bad. But yeah, I'm really excited because I did not have a single Tangela card that other than a common before. So that's going to be really nice in the Pokedex. And yeah. All right. Well, stick around because now there's another mega pack for Ascended Heroes on the wheel. So it may randomly come up. You never know. Get subscribed. It's gonna be hard not to rip those just to do them because I waited so long for them. Okay. I just take any cards that are hollow or reverse. I sometimes will stack them together, but I take them out once I'm done, just to have those set aside or to the front of the top of the stack, basically. Just so I make sure that I remember to, oh yeah, there was Energy Pikachu, Lunatone. See, I didn't put that in that last recording bit, but it's in the video. It's fine. Yeah, but I will sleeve these later. Actually use the wrong sleeve on Tangela here. Hold on, let me switch it. Because I like using these sleeves right here that have the little tag at the top, so I can easily pull it out of the top loader. See that it has that little tag right there, and I can just pull that out. There we go. Neat. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about computers now. Let me fix this. Okay. New PC posts. Nice. Congrats, Shanala. Do you collect PSA graded cards too? I don't. I don't buy singles. I don't buy slabs. Araxnus. Graded is like the most expensive way to get a card, usually, because it's graded. Now, if I were to grade my own cards, that I might collect, basically, yes. But buying graded cards that's the most expensive way to get a card, pretty much. When you push enter before you finish your message, talking about the movie or go ahead and rip them. Nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. They're part of the wheel. They're here. But yes, so Abstract and Rocky, I need y'all to be active in chat if I'm going to be helping you, though, okay? I'm not going to talk into the void here. It's a conversation back and forth, okay? But I have the Ascended Heroes. Let's bring it in here. Ascended Heroes MP. That's Ascended Heroes Mega Pack. That means I'm going to get all 6 of those packs. Take the reverse hollows and the rares, put them at the back of it, and I mean stack up a 60 card pack and do all of it at once. That's going to be that for the wheel. Okay, Rocky, you are here. Abstract, are you still here? You filled out the form, but I need to know that you're still here so I can help you. I don't help just via email or anything like that. It has to be live on stream. That's why early on I was like, I'm gonna do this other thing first, and then we're gonna get into it. The way it works here now, guys, is that if you've been watching VODs like from way before, or you were in the streams a long time ago, the way it works now is to sort of like help myself get in the mindset. I start with doing some Pokemon stuff, Pokemon content. That's going to be on the second channel, Brayathorn EX, which you could go subscribe to now if you want to. If you like Pokemon stuff, both video games and TCG. I start off with that. And then I help someone with a PC. I do a little more Pokemon stuff in between, helping another person with a PC. And then I Pokemon PC help. That's what I'm doing here. Okay. I guess I just like I just get tired of talking about how bad the industry is, about how bad the landscape is, how expensive everything is, and how the companies don't care. We all know it. We're all aware of it. And none of us like it. Except the people making all the money. Literally, like only 7 people like it. By the way, I believe you mentioned a check for being the first follower. Right. I can check that you're the first follower. That's what I said. I would check and make sure you were the first follower. And I believe you were. Nice. Thanks for reminding me to check that. That looked like a social media thing where it's like Lisa Su, Jensen Huang, and 5 others like this. Yeah. Okay. It's abstract. I'm just checking with you again. I need to make sure you're still here. Okay, it says you're still in chat. What do you think about the new Dark Hero AM5 board? I really like it. I haven't looked at it at all. Motherboards, at least, are not they had their time to drastically increase in price. They did so, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna stay right about here while every other price goes crazy. And we're all like, oh, but at least coolers aren't going up. Raw materials prices increasing for manufacturers. Oh, no. Well, these power supplies, our prices will be increasing for power supplies. Oh, no. Yeah. Help. Okay, abstract is lurking and not talking. So we're going to go ahead and move past you here to Rocky. I'm not going to sit here waiting for 20 minutes calling out your name, just waiting for you to fill out to come and say, yeah, I filled out the form. Okay, we're streaming till midnight tonight, midnight central, so you'll get help. But this is a back and forth. You must be ready to have a little conversation with me. I'm going to be asking you this already asked you a bunch of questions, but I'm going to have to ask you some more. Now, Rocky, here's where we're going to start. What is your actual maximum budget? As in the maximum amount of money dollars you can spend on your PC, not including monitor, keyboard, mouse, not including any of that stuff, not including shipping or taxes, just the price we would see on a website. What's the maximum amount we're talking about there? This is for 1440p gaming. And you want a lot of RGB. Okay. Dangerix, what's up? Welcome. You did say forum right after it posted about the forum, but yeah, there you go. $12.50. Well, that does help. You didn't put yourself in the correct price bracket, though, when you filled out the form. And if you're thinking like, well, it didn't ask me for like my maximum budget. Okay, well, if we go here and just take a look right about, where is it? Wait, did I pass it? I passed it. Yeah, if we take a look, right about there. And why is that? Well, this information helps me see the market trends, how consumers are doing overall, kind of see trends like that. And a lot of people sort of ignore the word I have emphasized a million times here and sort of just put whatever. So, but it's okay. It's all good. Now let's see. You said you're not near a Micro Center. All right. Dangerix, I see you there. You were very quick with that. I'm starting to get a feeling, everybody. I'm starting to get a feeling we're going to be getting back into people trying to do. I just feel bad anytime someone goes for DIY because it is much easier to get RAM with a pre-built these days. It's just like back in the GPU days, but more power to you if you're bound and determined to try to build a PC these days. It's really rough. Okay. 1250. But 1440p gaming. This is passive aggressive roasting. I mean, it is part of the deal here. If you ignore the instructions in any of the questions, you agree to be roasted on stream. Oh, did you skip over that? Oh, that's crazy. I don't remember saying you should skip over the bold text at the beginning. We like to have fun here. Anyway. Rurutu, no thanks. I don't have a certification for food service, so I'm not going to be doing that. All right. I want to give a peek to. I want to take a little look at iBuyPower real quick, see how they're doing. You guys got to understand, right now, vendors like distributors are in a position where they can either cater to one customer who wants to buy everything and will nickel and dime you on 9 cents per stick of RAM or whatever, to try and or you can make a dozen clients happy that have much smaller orders. We have reached the time of the RAM shortage and other things that will start to drastically affect the big hitters, the heavy hitters like iBuyPower. Yep. 1229 with a Ryzen 5 7600 and a 9060 XT 8 gig. And probably a single stick of DDR5 5200 in every one of these systems. Well, let's see if it says that it's a single stick or not. Oh, it's 8x2. Hey, iBuyPower, kudos. Credit where credit's due. Thank you. That does mean that this is not a kit that you can upgrade. You're going to just need to swap it out eventually if you want to go with 32 gigs of RAM. But yeah, it's not great. So I want to be really I want to be upfront with you guys as many times as I can, because if you watch a lot of these, you're going to be like, oh, he just keeps going for Skytech. You don't understand, okay? There is a reason for that. I look at this stuff all the time, just checking in. Even I'm not on stream, whatever. What a fun life I live, right? What a hobby, what a pastime. No, this is just what I do. This is why I feel like I'm good at this. For some reason, and it's not going to last forever, okay? But for some reason, Skytech they're just doing something that the other brands can't do if you're looking for a budget system. The good thing is they follow that up with good customer service and good build quality. Like, we're gonna peek. Let's keep going. Let's keep looking around. What if we look at because I got to look at high volume sellers if we're trying to get 1440p at 1250 maximum. So because that used to be easily a 1440p system. 4 months ago, that was easily a 1440p system. We're going to struggle a little bit here, but we're going to do what we can. Who else can I look at for this? I'm not going to CyberPower. You could just forget that. It's not happening. I'm curious as to what Mega does for this price point, if they've got anything at this price point. Let's see. Ready to ship gaming PCs. Stop. 12400F and a 5060, but 32 gigs of DDR5. Yeah. I mean, this isn't 1440p. Not at all. This is 1080p gaming. Can you game at 1440p? Yes. Will it be good? No. It won't, unless you are playing at absolute, like you're playing Rocket League or something, where it is absolutely toaster level hardware running. It can run on a toaster is the joke, whatever. Okay. Yeah, we're out of budget now, but it doesn't hit the goal. It does not hit the goal. Shout out to Meta PCs, the homies, though. I'm not showing the screen. Now I'm showing the screen. My bad. Hey, Barry, don't know if you're caught up on the news, but if you are, helping make sense of the news. So NVIDIA backed out a $100 billion deal with OpenAI, but they're still going to primarily be manufacturing GPUs for them. Is that correct? For AI data centers. OpenAI is probably the biggest AI company out there, but they're one of thousands at this point. I'm going to be playing older games like late 90s to 2015, maybe, like Transformers, Defiance, Clone Hero, Myst, etc. Still, it's more pixels to run at 1440p, and that's my favorite resolution to recommend to people. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, yeah. Power GPU is more on the boutique side of things. We can check them, sure. I'll check any one that y'all recommend, other than CyberPower PC. They can kick rocks. Okay, Power GPU. They changed their logo, so one sec. Why aren't y'all higher? I guess it is the same logo, but they should be higher up. That looks so sick. I like the way they did the Hatsune Miku stuff. It came out really good. Okay. Nope. Starting at 1600. That's for ready to ship systems. Their starter is $1,600. Yeah, like I said, they're more a boutique builder. Meta is nice, but their option prices go up fast. That's most boutique SIs. Meta is growing, but to me, they're still boutique, lower volume, but like better quality. That's still Meta to me, but they do a lot of business. Like they do. To me, it's like you're growing your hair out, right? Like it's good. They're in the awkward phase, I would say, to getting to be higher volume. Let's check Starforge. The Horizon 3. 1099, 12400F, and a 7600, RX 7600. When you go up to 1399, it gets you a 9060 XT 16 gig. That can do 1440p easily, but you're at 16 gigs DDR5 5600. And a 12400F puts you on LGA 1700, which is a dead platform. So, ish. Like this, they could have gone DDR4. I wish they would have gone DDR4. But with the games you're talking about playing, you don't require necessarily 32 gigs of RAM. But okay, that's enough of that. This is what I'm telling you guys. Like, look, every one of these. Oh, by the way, we're going to talk about this. by the way. That was what you thought it was. Don't worry. Yeah. So I know and like people from Starforge. I know and like people from iBuyPower. I know and like people from Meta PCs, Power GPU, Paradox Customs. I don't mind the fact at all that these I'm friends with them. Because as you can see right now, if the person I'm helping, if it's not the right PC for that person, whether I'm friends with someone or not, cannot affect that. Okay? Of course I've made friends with these people. I'm not a machine. Like, behind every company, behind the logo, behind the website, behind the cart, and behind the product are people. And the moment you forget that, the moment it all just blends together. And I can't do that. That would disallow me from, it would keep me from being able to distinguish between all these dozens of system integrators and help people find the one that's right for them. By definition, because of what I do, I cannot ignore that, because the benefits, the real product that you're buying from these companies comes from the intention of those people that run the company. It's the service you get. It's the build quality, the follow-up after they get the money, all of that. That's what you're buying when you buy pre-built, not just a computer. Because, yeah, anybody could build a computer. Any company could build a computer. Roby has a Miku build in the works with those parts. I am hyped. Nice. Yeah, that's all Asus stuff. But yeah, Natty, that is true. It is. They made really good parts for that. So what I'm saying is, excuse me, consider everything we just looked at and then consider this. Unless I'm misreading this and like the prices all went up. By the way, if you're looking at, this is not going to be valid for this one, but if you're looking at a PC for $1,400 or more, you can get a $50 off coupon for this by putting in the same email you're going to put in whenever you buy the PC. That is stackable with my discount code, by the way. And I have discount codes, by the way, for all of the SIs I just talked about. Except Starforge. They do an affiliate thing, so you can still support me by buying from Starforge and putting your code in there, but you don't get a discount, and that has bothered me since day one. That doesn't work with my whole methodology. I don't want you to support me by spending extra money. If you're going to support me, I'd rather it be by you saving money. That's how I've always felt about it. Anyways, let's have a look. They have PCs that are down at $700. How? Okay, there's so many. I'm going to actually have to actually move the slider here. Okay. What the heck? Are you kidding me? How? How are they can't keep getting away with this. Look at this. Yes, it's 14th gen, right? But it's not 12th gen like you're seeing on some of the other ones. And a 5060 Ti 16 gig for $1,200. In this landscape, that's crazy. DJ Simple Green, what's up? How's it going? If that budget for the 1440p system can be bumped up to 200, 300, we'll be a lot happier with it. No, they don't need to. Right here. This is it. This does it. Also, Bray, still get a discount with iBuyPower. Not on, I don't think the one for ready to ship systems works anymore, but the 5% off a custom system does still work if it's over $1,000. What's up, Marutu? How's it going? Z-Manscar, how you doing? Bass players probably using new old stock they didn't sell. Have they been doing that then for the last 4 months that they have been somehow sidestepping these insane prices because it has been every single time. How much new old stock could they have of a card that came out last year? $5,700, 5060 Ti, 16 gig. Now that's not as great because that's a 5700. That's 5000 series. 5060 Ti 16 gig, 14400F, but this one's $1,399. We're above budget now. So that's it. That's the PC. It's it right here. There you go. Now at what? Oh man, 14400F. What do you? It was a good CPU for gaming, for a budget system for gaming. Okay. Also, full 1 terabyte Gen 4 drive, 650 watt, 80 plus gold power supply is a little bit of a bummer if you ever intend to upgrade your GPU, but then you just upgrade your power supply. Getting the rest of this for this price is insane. And 650 is plenty for a 5060 Ti 16 gig. It is within spec. I'd like to see a little more, but it's not necessary here. And the 14400F, as long as you have the latest microcode on that motherboard, like there's, and also the issues that they had with 13th and 14th gen CPUs were on the K SKUs primarily. This is 16 gigs DDR5 is like, of course, that's how you do this. It's not 32 gigs, but what are you expecting? This what probably would have been like a $900 PC before. They were using 30 series cards. Interesting. I don't recall that. I remember seeing 40 series cards, but not 30. Oh, 3050. Yeah. In the ones that are $700. Yeah, of course. I was talking about the price bracket we were trying to be in when I raised up the slider. This one doesn't even have a GPU. It's an 8600G, but it shows one in the picture. Don't do that, SkyTech. That's not good. I like this case. That's kind of nice. Yeah, 5600 GT, no GPU. Now, to be fair, they do say right here, product images used on this page are for illustrative purposes only. There are a lot of sites that will put something that's not a non-matching picture, and they won't put that disclaimer there. They could have it in more bold color, not have it light gray on a white background, SkyTech, but still, it's there. Also, like the biggest thing about the specs is just support 1440p, right? Yes. Natty, how you're used to messing with your settings. As you said, I think every gamer goes in and checks their game settings. I disagree with you on that because I actually kind of talk to the every gamer here and have to then convince them, go into your settings or don't go in, stop going in your settings and setting it to ultra. What are you doing? So the ones that do go in the settings don't necessarily follow the right path. It just depends on the individual. What's up, DJK? How's it going? Got the desk together? Nice. 2 weeks. How do you get by for 2 weeks without opening your new PC? Yeah. Why wouldn't NVIDIA do that? This is the system, though. Right here. Again, I'm surprised that they're not going DDR4. That was an option all the way up to 14th gen. Think about it, guys. Intel, up until just 1 year ago or so, was using DDR4. Gave the option to use DDR4. When you think about that, it's kind of crazy. But there you go. Now, this is not your final price. Okay? Rocky, if you're still there. Just got the copy of that. But if you add this to cart, I'll show you. Also, you get a free MSI wireless controller for your system. So that's cool. Because you didn't have a desk to put it on. Yeah. Okay. So once this is in the cart, hold on, not done yet. I'm going to give you the link and everything. Check this out. Okay. This is not your final price. So first off, well, here, let me put this in chat for you real quick. There's your link. Just like a lot of these other SIs, I have a discount code here, okay? It's not going to be as much of a discount because it scales with the price of the system. But it's SWARM, $36 off, brings it down to $1163.99. And then, you remember how I said there's a $50 off code that you get by putting in your email? Guess what you have to do to purchase a PC? You got to give them your email anyway. So just fill that out. Oh, that doesn't count for this. It's under $1,400. Never mind. You just get the one discount code. That's my bad. I'm very sorry. But hey, guess what? You do get free shipping. Yay! Free shipping. Hold on. I thought I had applause. I forgot. I guess I got rid of it. I mean, I've got this one. There you go. That's like someone applauding with their butt. Wow. Yeah, this stream really fell off. I don't know what happened to that Braithorn guy. That's on a page I rarely use, so I keep forgetting that I have it. Rocky, the second discount, you have to get up to $1,400 for the PC. Then you get $50 off. It's not going to cancel itself out, but you would get closer to it. Free shipping with FedEx will arrive intact, at least in my experience. There's never a guarantee of that, but most PCs do arrive intact. DDR4 and LJ1700 is a lot harder to find now for a motherboard. True, Araxis, but this is Skytech we're talking about here. They don't have problems finding hardware. Somehow, if it's out there, they will get it and sell it for a fair price. I don't know how anybody at this point could possibly be a Skytech hater, because they could be just matching their prices to everyone else and lining their pockets, whether or not it's cheaper for them to get hardware. They're not doing that. I don't think I've really made a big enough deal about that. This is not glazing. This is observation. I am seeing this. They have parts that they could be selling for more money. They're not doing that. It's crazy. Like, Skytech, are you okay? No problem, Rocky. You're good to go. You got your link. You got the code. And hey, $36 is nice. There you go. Okay. Dangerix. Where you at? Bought cards yesterday for my series. Came about 14 Canadian a pack. 5 of them. Can't wait to get it. Nice. I finally opened Ascended Heroes earlier. And I got... Well, I won't show it here because then it'll... I got this. Hold on. It's going to focus eventually. Fine. I got this. It was 6 packs. I opened 6 packs. So, okay. Normally, Dangerix, I was checking that you were here. You might have heard me earlier. Normally, I will help somebody out, and then I'll do some Pokemon stuff as a break. Then I'll help somebody out, and then I'll do some Pokemon stuff as a break. So that means it would be break time right now. Then I help you out. You'd be next. Oh, hell yeah, is what we're saying. All right. That's better. That's better than I guess. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, bass player. I have not once regretted working with SkyTech. I've worked with a lot of companies at this point. Some of them have made me regret it. One that I will name drop here real quick. The one that I regret, probably one that I regret the most. I hate to say this, but it is Build Redux. Build Redux listened carefully to my feedback and then did the opposite. Like after making promise after promise of like, oh, we'll fix that. Oh, we're going to fix the tooling in these cases because you're right. That airflow is not good. Instead, they didn't do that. They used that case exclusively for all their PCs. And you can, like, all my recommendations for how they could change the configurator and customization and stuff that was off the record. They took that and they said, how about no configuration, no customization? And we'll put something gaslighting people into thinking they don't need to have a choice when it comes to the parts in their PC. Yeah. No, never Alexander PCs. Are you kidding me? They're the best. They really are. They know it too. They're a little proud of that, but they should be. Like I do feel bad sometimes because Alexander PCs also is the company that I have been working with concurrently the longest time. I mean, 3.5 years now, maybe 4. I've known TJ. I've been working with Alex. Yeah, since 2020, early 2022, maybe. Yeah. It's like that. Since around Christmas 2021, actually. And TJ has always been supportive, always, since day one. He's seen my mission and been like, how can we help? And also taking care of every single member of the community who's has been taken care of by them. That's bought from them. Like, I just want other SIs that are chasing that to know, like, you'll get the same credit. Like that, it does take a while to build that with the community, but do that. Don't get disheartened if you hear me talk a lot about one SI. You just got to understand, like, they have worked with me through good times and bad, whenever things were really good in the industry and whenever things were really bad in the industry, and have been nothing but supportive of their customers that are in our community and their own customers as well that are not in our community, and of me as a content creator in ways that are acceptable, instead of just like, here's a bunch of money, say good things about us. Nope. If they had a bad record with help with their customers, it wouldn't matter. I'm not going to recommend them, but they have the best rapport with their customers, period. Like, out of any SI in the SI testimonials, it's not close. So just understand it. Like, for any other SIs that are like newer or want to do that, that's just my talking about Alexander PCs like that is just a product of their hard work. That's it. Discount Star-Lord. Well, I mean, the thing is, I feel like with Build Redux, I had something to do with them becoming worse. Yes, Araxinus, that is true. And I generally disclose that they're part of Digital Storm. I feel like I had a part in them getting worse. Well, okay, it's kind of the same thing with Discount Star-Lord, actually. There's a lot of backstory to that, but I did too good of a job there. That's all that was, apparently. But regardless, I've gone over all that stuff before. With Build Redux, I feel like they literally took my feedback and said, well, no, we don't like any of that. We're going to do the opposite, while promising me that they would do it. It's like, they looked at my content, saw me recommending fish tank cases, made their own a super cheap one with the worst airflow I've ever seen. And just everything that I think they're doing wrong now, I think was a product of me. And that's not true necessarily, but it's just a feeling. And besides, Dan, how could I ever fully regret working with Discount Star-Lord when I've made some really good friends from there? I also met you there. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You got the VIP, okay? You know what's up. Yeah, blank on the name. Continue to blank on the name. It's not even his name anymore, probably. That dude does not deserve any moment of thought from you or anyone's thoughts whatsoever. He decided that for himself. I want to be unilaterally hated by the community I've built by insulting them all at the same time. Cool, buddy. Wow. Hey, that sounds like a good laptop, DJK. Yeah, yep, same. Well, we have moved on. Speaking of which, let's it's time. Let's do some more stuff. Okay, for this one, we don't need the wide angle. And for this one, we've got the wheel. Natty, I'm sorry. That the whole point is that if you get to enjoy it vicariously through me, you don't need to open any on your own. I'm trying to save y'all money. Let me go here real quick. Okay, there's something that I forgot to show you, Natty, because I know about your bug collection, right? Don't be mad, okay? Don't be mad at me. This is the... Here, hold on. Hold on. This is the gigantic full Pokedex right here. It's not done. We're not even close to done. We're not even halfway. 1,025 Pokemon, and a lot of those are not even in the packs that I'm pulling, not even in the sets that I've been pulling or opening. I have to find this page now. Well, you've seen me get Yanma. It was not Yanma. Not Yanmega. I forget. There was something I realized. You may remember that from Mega Evolution. Here, hold on. Remember from Mega Evolution, I got this Ninjask. Well, from earlier opening of Mega Evolution, I got this Shedinja. And it took me a while to realize something. Oh, Braxton, did I miss a chat? I'm sorry. Yeah, I got a matching set. I have the matching Pokemon from this set now. And that's something that we're going to mention in the video. But yeah. How freaking sick is that? Yeah, they connect. It's kind of like the Bulbasaur. The thing is, Pokemon loves to do this. They love to do this. So this, I'm going to go back to that. Don't you worry about that, Braxton. It's kind of like they do with this Bulbasaur. There is an Ivysaur that goes here and a Venusaur that goes there that all connects together. And that's what I'm chasing in Mega Evolutions, which I still haven't recorded the 4th episode of that, but we haven't even posted the 1st. So what's the big deal, right? But yes, this is the Gigabinder, my Gigabinder. And it holds 1,088 cards. There are 1,025 Pokemon in the Pokedex. I still have to figure out what to do with the rest of the binder, the last couple pages, but it does look good in there. Okay, let me see what was said here. Braxton, I'm so sorry I missed that. I don't know how I did. Also, Great Majir, I hope you're doing well. They still have some yummy 5070 Ti's. Yes, they do. Hey, Bray, I'm wanting to sell a computer that you built for me. I don't need it now since the rig Sick PC's built my new rig. I wanted to see if you could tell me if I'm at a good price. Okay, which one was it that I built for you? Okay. Tetradon White. Fusion 3 cooler. Zydax 80 plus. Oh, that was from Zydax way back. Okay. $47 Ti Super, 16 gig. Streamer plus 12 VH PWR, desktop warranty, lifetime. The Infinity fans. Okay. What's the CPU and in this one? What is a CPU? And the motherboard. It looks like you ran out of space, basically. Like it cut off some of your chat. Just so you can see it. It cut off right here. What's up, Tenmei? Hope you're doing well. Holding. The last couple pages could be notable mentions for cards you particularly like, but aren't as good as the ones you already put into Pokedex. So, Natty, here's the thing. There's one thing about the Chinese gem packs as well. I'm waiting for Braxton here. Okay. The Chinese gem pack volume 3. Every card in that box, it's actually kind of crazy because a lot of these cards I had to really dig, because a lot of these cards like Master Ball Ceruledge, Master Ball Darkrai, Absol, Master Ball Clefable, and these aren't as nice as certain other ones, but they're still like $3 cards, every one of these. Like I have a shiny Mimikyu from Shining Treasure. But this stamped Mimikyu goes for like $9, $10, something like that. $5, something crazy. Any of the stamped ones do really well. Heck, there's a stamped metal energy card in the Gem Pack Volume 3 that goes for $20 for an energy card. So some of these, I might do something like get every Master Ball one that I got out of here, put them in there, and just try to collect different Master Ball Pokemon. That'd be kind of cool. But there's a lot of those from a lot of different sets. So that's a whole binder on its own. And they're very hard to pull. Unless you're talking about, what if I get a binder to Master Set Gem Pack Volume 3? It's not that expensive to get. All of those cards, that was from a $55 or $60 box. Okay, 14600K. Zydax Ultra RGB 240 millimeter. Okay. Pro Z790 VC. DDR5 5600, 16 gigs. So 2 by 16. Okay. Well, what I would say, Braxton, is because it's a 14600K. First off, I hope you kept up to date with the microcode on that motherboard, because otherwise there could be internal damage to that 14600K. I talked a lot about that back when it was all going on in videos and on stream, so I hope that you did do that. Update the BIOS every time a new one came out, because every time it was an improvement to the microcode. 2500 though, because it's 14th gen, how much did you spend on it? You have some certain things there that keep me from saying that that is a fair price. Something like the 750 watt power supply, you don't really have a lot of room for upgrading the GPU there. 240 millimeter cooler is fine for 14600K. The DDR5 is obviously valuable. And Intel's memory controller will take that 5600 and just be like, that's a fine frequency for me. What is the deal with the 4070 Super, considering that you said it was a 4070 Ti Super earlier? Wait, hold on. Why does it say 1,000 watt power supply up there and 750 watt down here? I'm not crazy, right? Hold on. I think some of these are like the default specs. I think this was the default specs for this before. And then I had you upgrade to 1,000 watt power supply, 4070 Ti Super. Yeah, these are all upgrades here, I think. Like the better fans, the better storage, 4 terabytes. Okay, I was just looking at this. DDR5 6 something, maybe 6,000. Lifetime warranty. I don't know if it's transferable with Zydax. We might have even upgraded your motherboard. It just didn't pop up here in the chat. Braxton, just shoot me a DM after. I'll talk to you directly on that, so that you can that way you can do something like showing me the email, that confirmation email that'll have the actual parts that are in it, or I can have you look at your actual specs on the system. Just DM me later and I'll help you out with that. 2,500, depending on what you spent, there's obvious upgrades in here, so that might actually be fair. 1,000 watt power supply, a more expensive AIO, better RAM, better GPU, high end cables and fans, all of that. Yeah, that can add a lot to the price. So that could be fair. Just you might need to allow someone to talk you down a little bit on price. Okay, I was gonna do Pokemon. There we go. That is still a thing. It is still a thing. Alert! It is still a thing. Okay, we're gonna spin the wheel because I can't make decisions for myself. That's the wrong screen. Well, no, it was right actually for a second. All right. on, let me just. Why is it shrinking my camera? That's weird, but okay. All right. I've got a lot of cool Pokemon stuff that I could open right now to search for more cards for my Pokédex, but I'm terrible at making decisions for myself, so we're going to rely on the wheel. Let's see what it chooses for us. Oh my goodness, it is the Ogerpon EX Premium Collection. Okay, I should have had the volume up for that, but whatever. Okay, this is, I like Ogerpon. I don't care what anybody says. Ogerpon's cool in my book, okay? Excuse me, get out of here. Yes, I do want to open more, Ascended Heroes, but that's just going to have to wait. All right, in chat, y'all are going to have to go bye-bye for a bit here. There we go. Okay, Ogerpon EX Premium Collection. This guy right here has an actually really, really nice Ogerpon promo card, Ogerpon EX. Let me say the full name. Teal Mask Ogerpon EX promo card in here that is actually gorgeous. And that's going to go right into the Pokédex in the spot where Ogerpon goes. But then we also have a solid number of packs here. We have another couple of promo cards here. But then we also have 6 packs, various sets from this era. We also even have, you know what? I'm just going to open this thing up and we'll go through the things as we get to them. There's some people out there who are like hate on Ogerpon, like, oh, I don't think Ogerpon's very popular, legendary. You don't play the games then. Fake fans. I'm kidding. There's people who are just into TCG and not into the games, and whatever kind of fan you are is the kind of fan you are. Just don't badmouth my boy, all right? So, we're going to have... I know the card values speak for themselves, okay? I know what you're saying. I don't care. So, of course, we have our 3 promo cards here. So, you actually have the Ogerpon EX, a standard Teal Mask Ogerpon that can lead to Ogerpon EX. Oh, no, Ogerpon EX is a basic card. What are you talking about? Okay. A standard Teal Mask Ogerpon, Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, and an item card, which is Ogre's Mask. So you get those. That's going to be, I'm going to leave them there in their protective thing here. That's going to go into the Pokédex. You also get this cool little standee for a card of your choice. It is magnetic. It holds a card in there safely and then stands like that. Here's an example. I put my Metal Mew EX from the 151 Premium Collection. I didn't actually open a 151 Premium Collection. I just bought this. But yeah, I had this on my desk, like right over here, because I love this card. It doesn't need the protection. It is metal. I don't care. It looks cool. And then you have card sleeves with Ogerpon there. But these are going to be a little tight on the cards. If you're just trying to put your cards in a binder or something like that, if you want to play, sure, you can use these. They are very fitted to the cards, though. Keep that in mind. And I think these look pretty good. If you like the color green, it's all over this. But I personally think penny sleeves in a binder, if you're just trying to build a collection, penny sleeves are going to be the way to go. And let's see what sets we get. I'm excited to see the Surging Sparks. It has never treated me well, but I'll deal with that. Then we have Stellar Crown and then Twilight Masquerade. Some, I think, underappreciated sets there. Because you can actually, if you're trying to get into this and you just want to rip a bunch of packs, sets like Twilight Masquerade can actually be somewhat affordable. And there are some pretty cool hits in there too. KC Rock, what's up? Welcome. So yes, we are going to be opening these. I'm going to save Surging Sparks for last. There's a couple chases in there that I would like to get, but I've never really gotten anything from it. But it's okay. And then Stellar Crown, I don't think I've really opened much Stellar Crown at all. Twilight Masquerade is also fairly new to me, but I am excited to open any Pokemon packs. Come on. It's going to be hard to get some of this stuff. Let's see what we get. I don't remember the pack trick for these. I'm just going to do a single card. There it is. Energy right there. Oh, look at that. I think I've gotten this before, but this right here is the Asako Ito Sandy Gas. It's knitted, and I have another card from them as well. Just really, really cool artwork on these. The little diorama and the knitted Pokemon is awesome. Dreepy. Oops. Okay, let's do this right. Feebas. I forgot that I'm supposed to have this out here. You know what? I'm going to redo this just to have it at the same distance as before. Just like that. And that is for the sake of editing afterwards. Okay. Sandygast, Dreepy. Feebas. Feebas makes more sense. A bass is a fish. Yo, is that a Shinji Kanda Giraffarig? You can always spot Shinji. Yeah, it is. It is. You can always spot Shinji Kanda's art in a moment. It takes like a second. Okay, we got a Love Ball. Scolipede, uncommon. Belly Bolt, uncommon. Odd to not see Iono involved there. Reverse Kirin for supporter. Whoa, look at this illustration rare. That is a sick Heliolisk. Look at that. Just like the depth of field here, because you have the blurry one in the background. I don't know if this is translating, but this is a really cool piece of art right here. Why is it always the first pack? Every time. Where's the suspense? And do we get a double? Nope. Walking Wake Hollow. Oh my God. Why is it always the first pack? I'm not crazy. Check my other shorts. There's a bunch of them where the first pack has the hit. I don't get it. Just stick around anyway. Watch the whole video, please. It's crazy. That is not, hold on. I put the ones at the back that were a little distressed, let's say, used. Okay, there we go. So we've already got a hit. Twilight Masquerade. Nice. Oh, hold on. I called this wrong. It wasn't 2 Twilight Masquerades. That's Paradox Rift. 1 Twilight Masquerade, 1 Paradox Rift. I just missed that. People watching at home are like, this guy an idiot? Sometimes, yes. I like to mix it up. Sometimes be smart, sometimes be an idiot. Variety is the spice of life. Yeah, who needs continuity? All right, Paradox Rift. I don't know that I've ever opened Paradox Rift. Maybe I have. I don't know. We're about to. Oh, KC Rock, that is really cool. There you go with the cables. Yep. I'm glad you followed that suggestion. And I'm glad to hear they're working with you on that. Yeah, I don't recall ever opening Paradox Rift, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I have before, if you follow my content and you're paying attention, I guess. I don't know. I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. Okay, how am I supposed to remember packs that I ripped over the last few months? Okay, Basic Energy. Cool, cool. Whismer. Doublade. Surskit. Magby. I think that's my first Magby for the Pokedex. Cyclizar. That might be my first Cyclizar. Simisear. Crobat. I have a Crobat EX. Reverse Trubbish. Reverse Gabite. And a Hollow Palkia. I think I had a Hollow Palkia before. But that's nice. That is good. That is cool. Okay. All right. Stellar Crown. It looks like Stellar Crowd. I don't know why the font is like that. It looks like a D at the end. But whatever. Yeah, thank you for that. I wouldn't have never known. Basically got the PSU for free. There you go. Happy to hear it. And happy to help. If you like watching this, but you also are interested in getting help finding a PC or even just hearing someone yap about PCs endlessly, come by the streams every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Wow, I whiffed this. They're just like pulling off the outer layer. What am I doing? We're opening it upside down then. There we go. Sure. There we go. If you like to see someone open Pokemon packs as well, poorly, yeah, come by the stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. Central on the Brayathorn channel. If you're watching this on Brayathorn EX, I'll stream there eventually. I don't know when that'll start. Wonder if I can stream to both at the same time. Interesting. Ponyta. Let's focus. There we go. There we go. Ponyta. Cubone. Glameow. Milcery. Talonflame. Area 0 Under Depths. Crabominable. Reverse Cyclizar. That's an upgrade for the Cyclizar we just got. If that was an Archaludon. Reverse. And Grimmsnarl Hollow. Okay. That's a really good. Look at the artwork on this. It's like a comic book. I love that. That's really cool. I'm actually going to just go ahead and sleeve that. I like that art. The thing is, even if this wasn't an upgrade, like say this is this Grimmsnarl, I already have a hollow Grimmsnarl in there, a hollow rare, I would replace it with this if I like the art better. So that's another way that I can view something as an upgrade, even if it's just in my opinion. Come on. Okay, you know what? There we go. This is going to be the one with the hit, and I just damaged it. Watch. PSA 11 incoming. PSA 11 incoming. Oh, did that wrong. Well. Energy. Panseer. Carnivine. That might be my first Carnivine. Pawmi. Fan Rotom. I have an illustration rare of Fan Rotom already. Veluza. Swalot. I think that might be my first Swalot. Payapa Berry. Reverse Phalanx. I think that's my first Phalanx. That's a good one. Payapa Berry again. Reverse. Okay. And yo, look at that. Oh, ultra rare Galvantula EX. It just had to be the spider, didn't it? Had to be the freaking spider. It's okay. It's still fine. Yeah, it's the one on the bag there, on the pack then. Yeah, I know you like the bugs. I'm sorry. Although this is not an insect, this is an arachnid, but hey, there you go. That is a really nice card. Wow. The texture on this. Okay, well. That's two full arts. The ultra rare here and then the illustration rare. I guarantee you I'm not going to get a better Galvantula than this one. It is Galvantula. I'm sorry, I got to think about spiders. So, yeah. I got my reasons. I get mad at the game when I have to catch a spider to fill the Pokédex. I'm getting a PC. Are these specs good? Handy Lizard, please fill out the form. DJK, have a good night. Handy Lizard, if you want me to know whether that PC is good for you, I need to know more about you and what you're going to use your PC for. Go to the description. There's a link. The first thing that's there is a link. It's a form you fill out to get on the list to get help. And then you'll have to answer some questions that'll help me answer your question. All right, last two packs of Surging Sparks. Let's see if we can get a chase from one of these, any full art, anything like that. That would make this a pretty good box, considering that we have an Ogerpon that is in the same style as this Galvantula EX. That's pretty awesome, actually. And remember, I'm not talking about monetary value here. That is not all these cards are good for if you're a collector. If you're a collector, you want to have like cool cards in your binder, perhaps, whatever kind of collector you are. It can be really easy to overlook beautiful, awesome Pokemon cards that made by amazing artists with some of the most like advanced card printing techniques. It just looks insane just because they're not $400 or whatever. Don't let that keep you from enjoying whatever you get to pull. And also, don't let those really expensive cards push you to spend more than you're comfortable spending on trying to rip packs. Okay, energy. Charcadet. Smoochum. No, thank you. Skarmory. Got a Skarmory EX the other day. Tandemouse. Cute. Indeedee. Also cute. Terra Orb. Hold on, wait. Terra Orb. Sorry, whenever I'm doing comms for Super Metroid Map Rando tournament stuff and they get Morph Ball, that's what I say. Orb. There you go. Because that's what they like to say in chat. Fluttermane. Coffagrigus. Reverse. Are we still... Okay. Ninetales. And, oh, come on. Really? The reverse and the hollow. Sure. That's okay. Okay. The only thing is when you see me get a little disappointed is when I already have the card. I have one of those already for the Pokedex. So, all right, last pack RGB. Give us some last pack mojo, buddy. All right. That one opened fairly easily. A good sign, perhaps. I don't know. Okay, basic energy. Meryl. That's really cute. That's cute art right there. Drillbur. What is he even doing? What are you even doing, Drillbur? Quaxley. Zangoose. Bruxish. Everybody's favorite fish for sure with the weird teeth. Meddling Memo. Appleton is new for the Pokedex. Love that. Reverse Phoebus is, I think, an upgrade. Oricorio. Sorry, Oricorio. I got a really good promo card. Full art. And Hollow Togekiss. Well, you know what? Let me get this out of here real quick. Honestly, with this card look at this. Look at this card. Come on. That's a really nice looking card. I like Ogerpon. Okay. If you don't, that's your thing. I played a lot with I put Ogerpon in my team and did a lot of battling with Ogerpon on my team when I was playing. So if you don't like Ogerpon, that's fine. Try playing that DLC and seeing how capable Ogerpon and how just how, what's the word here? See just how, oh my God, there's a word for this. Well, just how capable and how many different things Ogerpon can do in the game. Great legendary and also some good pulls here. So I'm happy with this. Still more stuff coming up. The wheel. Let's see what the wheel chooses for us next time. Be sure to get subscribed or hit follow. So much of, I didn't record on my audio interface. That's fine. So much of that is getting edited. Like so much of that gets edited out. Actually, this item card is really gorgeous too. Didn't record that, but that's okay. I did show it momentarily. All right, there we go. Back to work. Back to work. And that's the other Ogerpon promo. Yeah, sure, why not? Did you guys know that Ascended Heroes can have God packs? A God pack is where you get a lot of the chase cards. Versatile. Thank you, Dangerix. That's the word I was looking for. Sometimes when I'm talking into a camera, it all comes out like breathing. All of the words in my personal codex of words, right, comes out like breathing. Sometimes it's like there's one, and it's just staying just out of reach. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's those. Make sure I got all the... I really do like this Grimsnarl art. Like, that's super sick. That's really good. This was such a troll. Can't believe you. Okay, just getting all the shiny ones out here, putting them in the front. And that should be all of it. Y'all have no idea how many of these I have to like index and add to the Pokedex. It is actually a lot of work. I'm behind like a lot. YouTube has suggested a Pokemon pack video to me for the first time ever, just next to this video, concerning, and I guess congratulations on new endeavor. Adam, it's because I put it in the title. I didn't have it in the title before. I'm sorry about your algorithm. I am sorry. I'm ruining that for you. It's a thing, though. It is a thing. Thank you for sticking around, even though this is stuff that you're probably not as interested in. YouTube algorithm used to be kind of dope. It's kind of bad now. Like, it's actually very bad, to where if you watch one thing that's like kind of in your fields of interest, kind of in your lane, but you're like, I'll watch a video about this. YouTube is like, that's your life now. That's everything you want from your entertainment. All you will see is that one niche thing in that video you watched for 20 seconds. Calm down, YouTube. You used to be good. What happened? It reeks of desperation. God, I hate it. Y'all know I'm right. You can sound off right now. You know I'm right. All right. Speaking of versatile, I am showing how versatile I am by going from Pokemon content back to PC content. That was the wrong eye. That's the correct eye if I'm leaning that way. Dangerix, let's get set on yours. Let's get going with your thing here. We're doing a parts list for you. You're going to be building DIY. Drive-In G, welcome. How's it going? Thornton, yeah, and the custom ads after it happens too. Yes, I'm sorry. Imagine scrolling past 60-second shorts. Yeah. I actually take the time to put things like not interested and don't recommend me this channel, that kind of thing. There's a lot of AI slop that I have basically banned those channels from my shorts feed. Drive-In G, I'm going to ask you to slow down a little bit. Sounds like you're trying to speed through chatting here as much as you speed through Drive-In G for life. Drive-In G for life. Take your time. Is RTX 4050 good for and what? The great YouTube pastime of complaining about YouTube. Again, versatile. Okay. That Galvantula was a really good pull, actually. I like that card a lot, even though that's how I will accept a spider card. Going back to the game dev hobby for the 6th time in the past 5 years. Oh God, I'm about to sink another 60 hours into making barely functional concept for a game. Well, I do want to mention, guys, everyone. Oh, sorry, I'm still disappeared right there. Oh, here we go. Hi. It's cut. Looks bad. It's, when cat claws cut you, they don't cut you. They tear because they're not sharp. They're pointy. Well, they're sharp in a pointy way. Anyways, just want to point out real quick. I don't know if this was your first one, Natty, but go check out the video on Titanfall 2 that Natty made. Here, I'm going to drop a link in chat. I like it a lot. It was good. It was good. Good commentary on the game. I liked it. Good voiceover, good narration, basically. Nicely done. I didn't get the chance to tell you in DM because I'm really behind on my DMs. I basically was like, let me watch this. And I went to that and I just didn't go back to the DMs. I'm sorry. But there you go. I liked it. Hey, Brady, you like the Linearly Edge PSU more than the Montech Century 2 or about the same? The Linearly Edge PSU only if you're in a dual chamber case. If you're in a dual chamber case, it makes sense. If you're not in a dual chamber case, it doesn't make sense. And if you have the extra money, because the Montech Edge is cheaper. So if you're in a case like this, Montech Century, if you're in a dual chamber case and you can afford the slightly higher price, Linearly Edge. Happy to see the pre-built comparison to my list, but I do enjoy building as a hobby, but I know the market favors pre-built currently with the prices these days. Well, at a certain point, Dangerix, pre-builts are going to be the only way to get RAM because that's kind of what happened with GPUs when there's a global shortage. It becomes less about preference and about, well, possibility. What's possible? The only thing that'll be possible is buying a PC from a pre-built company. But we're not there yet. If you don't mind spending the extra on your parts, you can still build it yourself. But here's what I did. The way this whole thing started with my pre-built content was in 2020 when I was like, I'm getting more serious about YouTube, even though it's not growing that fast. I want to make really good stuff, and editing sucks on my RX 580. So, which I'm used to. I was used to squeezing the most performance possible out of more budget oriented hardware. That's what I had, a 4790K for my CPU in 2020. All right, like I'm used to doing that. The thing was it was a soldier. It was so out of date. I didn't care. Anyways, so I was like, I want to upgrade at least my GPU. And then I saw the market and I was like, yeah, okay. And I immediately thought, well, I'll just buy a pre-built then. And I did. And I got a pre-built with I wanted a 3070 at the time. I was still kind of on a budget, right? But for the price of a 3070 on eBay, I got an entire PC and with a 3070 in it. Did I like the case? Not really that much. Oh, well, I'm a builder. So what did I do? I bought a pre-built, I unbuilt it and built it into a better case. And that was me building that PC for the price of just the GPU on eBay. Crazy. Because 3070s were going for like, it was really bad. It was really exquisitely bad at the time. But nope, iBuyPower had it at my door, the whole PC in like 4 days. And then I was like, I'm going to make a video about this because like that was super easy, but everyone's freaking out that they can't just buy a pre-built. What's the big deal? I've been so detached from that community. I didn't realize how bad the vitriol around pre-builts had become. And I was like, this is stupid. They can't buy anything because they're so like up their own butts about building it themselves. And you're not there yet. We're not there yet. You're okay. And you even said, I don't mind looking at pre-builts. That is a healthy outlook. No one had that outlook back then. And they were like, I just can't computer then. Yes, you can. It's a desktop. That means literally you have just parts. It's just the packaging's a little different. They're already put together. Take it apart, build it into something else. And when I saw that there was such a lack of content around pre-builts, and those videos that I put up started to get more views than I was used to, I was like, carry the 2. I need to make pre-built content. And here we are. It's in Discord. No hurry. Okay, Braxton. Hey, okay. All right, I was just getting started with helping Dangerix. I'm sorry. They waited through the whole Pokemon thing. Give me a little time. Yeah, you said no hurry. I'll go check it afterwards. I'll go check that afterwards. I did the same. Bought from an SI to get a 3090 back in that day. Yep. There you go. Sorry, I figured you didn't reply for some reason or another. I'll glad to hear you like the vid. Definitely want to work on more stuff. Only problem right now is finding time to record more gameplay. Yeah. It takes a long time. It does. And also storage. Okay, looking at this. What is your actual maximum budget? You said was 3,500, if I remember correctly. IIRC. Yes, 3.5K max. Hope you enjoyed the Pokemon stuff. You did say hell yeah, so I imagine you did. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, Denver Micro Center is where you're looking at shopping. Totally makes sense. Now, before we get into this, one of the most important things that you need to know about buying from Micro Center, and this is really important, is before you spend $1 there, you need to... And I'm not saying you have to sacrifice all 3 chickens. 2 is fine, but you know, it couldn't hurt to do all 3, I guess. Anyways, so that's my suggestion there. Anyway, okay. Oh, you're a collector as well. I am starting a channel for that content. It's called Brayathorn EX on YouTube. So, okay, can I just, I know I already got all excited about the name and how good it is, but can we just acknowledge again how good that name is? I was like I was tearing my hair out. I was so stressed about what to name the channel, and I was just like, Brayathorn EX for Pokemon. Of course. Yeah, and it worked out. How are you handling the RAM shortage? Poorly, like most of us. But it is kind of my job to help people find stuff, so maybe worse than others. Sacrificing chickens or something. Midi Moonstorm, don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so you're looking at gaming and pro gaming / esports in 4K. The only comment I would have on that is 4K plus pro gaming / esports doesn't usually go together. If you're going to be gaming competitively, frames win games, as they say. So you aim, like, you can still build an insane PC, but then you still aim for like 1080p. There are some very high refresh rate 1440p monitors, but if you're trying to get the most like accurate info possible and the lowest latency possible and all of those things, that's what you aim for, pun intended or not intended or something, when you're going for I have a 240 hertz 4K monitor. Right. But 5090s are like $6,000 now. And that's the only thing that'll get the most out of a 240 hertz 4K monitor, depending on the game you're playing. 240 hertz 4K monitors are, I would say, a big slab of optimism on your desk. Because depending on the game, hitting 240 frames per second rather, at 4K is ambitious. Again, depending on the game. Now, if you're playing something like a competitive esports title, it is possible. So we'll leave it at that. But that same system could be hitting, like, that system that can hit that could be hitting like 600 FPS, and your competitor might be gaming in 1080p with 600 FPS in front of them rather than your 240. You see what I'm getting at? I happen to have a monitor right there that does, I think it's 240 hertz 4K, but it has a dual mode that does like 700 something hertz 1080p. And yeah, go in and manually switch to 1080p. And it actually has native 1080p at a way higher refresh rate. If that's what you're looking at, then yes, that's going to work for it. Same with your monitor. Bam, there you go. All right, good for me to know. Right, Araxinus, the thing about it is buying a 4090 right now, that's all well and good for you. That would be this in probably most of this budget just for a 2-year-old or 2.5-year-old, sorry, a 3-year-old GPU. It would be like $2,500, $2,700 for a 3-year-old GPU. You know what I mean? That's good for you though. But like, we're going to be spending a lot of this just getting a 5080. Because the 5070 Ti is mostly MIA. Let's move on. You don't, so that was for RGB. You don't want RGB. Price of performance is the goal. Absolutely. You want the PC in black. And we're going to Denver for Micro Center. Okay. I was already there. What am I doing? I'm already here. Okay. Let us never forget how dumb it is that Micro Center, the PC building store, had to use an AI image for their custom PC builder page. And we will never forget. We will never forgive. We're going to skip right to looking at what graphics cards are available here. It's a $4,000 5090, but it is for the Matrix. Those are very rare. 5090 Astral, $4,000. 5090 Supreme Liquid, $37.89. Yeah. Oh, look, it's a 4090 for $3,500. Yeah. 5090s are, did I say 4090? 5090s are just not the option. Actually, there's a 5090 for $2,800 that's liquid cooled. It's still $800 over. That's crazy to see, actually. I'm very surprised that they have 5090s that are not $5,000. There you go, chat. Again, it's coming back to it again, where if you live near a Micro Center, you're going to be living good, I guess, if spending $800 over budget is good. Because this used to be a $1,999 priced 5090. Okay, let's keep going. Wouldn't a 5080 be more expensive? I know. Reason I said just an example, they could get a 5080. A 5080 would not generally not be more expensive than a 4090 because a 4090 has 24 gigs of VRAM, beats the 5080 in gaming tests, and is more rare. So 4090s typically cost more than a 5080 because they are more powerful than a 5080 and hard to find. I like the best GPU I have still is a 4090 in my editing rig. Oh man. 5070 Ti's. Why have y'all done this to me? Yeah, at this point, 5070 Ti's used to be the obvious go-to. But now that they're just like a couple $100 under and the prices on both have gone up, that percentage difference has changed. So I'm actually going to say this PNY NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080 EPIC-X GPU is going to be a good choice. It's pretty much the cheapest 5080, and PNY makes a damn good GPU. And there's 4 in stock. There you go. Oh yeah, hold on. Sorry, it's been super quiet. Also turn that up for the wheel spin. Okay, now we can look at a bundle, except that the bundled RAM sucks. I forget that. I keep forgetting that. Like, just as an example, we go to the memory here. DDR5 6000 CL36. Does that suck? Not really, but if you're going Ryzen, it's not optimal. And yes, the smallest difference, like 6 CAS latency difference, can have a sort of domino effect in terms of latency and just performance overall with Ryzen CPUs, Ryzen 7000 or 9000 series. And that goes for all Ryzen. You want a specific first word latency, and that's why there is a sweet spot for Ryzen. So let's avoid these because we can. Your budget does allow for that. I saw you do a cool 3D model build the other night. Want to use it? We don't need to use Micro Center. I need my chickens. Oh, Dangerous. That's great. Also, don't tell my girlfriend that I joked about sacrificing chickens because we have chickens too. And I like them. They're all right. Yeah, let's do build cores. I'd be happy to do that. Now, before we dive into build cores, I want to address a little bit of controversy here. Now, for those who are new to this, you might not have heard that the other day, Mr. Build Cores, the owner of Build Cores, actually went. So actually, it turned out it was just a bag of groceries. So everything is fine. Do not worry about it. We're still good to use build cores. Did I save this build already? Yes, I did. Astral, that is crazy. Have you looked at 48 gig kits? But what's up, Astro? Welcome. Base players only chats in the last while have been an LOL at both of the times that I've done that. That's great, base player. You're keeping it steady over there. I appreciate that. Okay, so this with build cores, it all starts with the case. We do want to try to stick to a case that has a 3D model. That's sort of the crux of this. More are being added. They are still in beta, but there is a lot. Let me go ahead and edit this here. Let me see. Okay, so let me ask you, what kind of case are you into? First off, do you have enough desk space to put a wide dual chamber case, like an O11 dynamic kind of case, like O11 Evo, something like that, where they take more horizontal space? Or are you limited on desk space? Yes, you are? Okay. So we can go. Do you prefer the fish tank style? If you're building it yourself, I highly recommend it because of all the room you get for cable management. Let me actually zoom in. There we go. It looks a little better. And we're going with a black build, right? Yep. Okay. .3D only. There we go. That'll narrow it down to ones that are only the ones that have 3D models. It takes a while. There's a lot of cases they have put in here, with a lot of them being not having a 3D model. There we go. Now, you don't want RGB though, right? Like you said, you don't want RGB. Does that, in your mind, kind of defeat the purpose of getting a fish tank style? Because I guess you still get to see your components even if you don't have RGB, but when it's in black and there's no lighting in there, it can be a little difficult, especially in like a dark room. Okay, so you do want RGB, but you can turn it off. Cool. All right. You can do that. That is true. So I'm going to recommend my favorite in terms of like price versus the features you get, coming with all the fans, including reverse flow. I love the King 95 Pro. It's an awesome looking case. It's fun to build in with tons of space for building. And I would say, and also when you look at the RGB, it is not lit in the hub. There's no hub lighting. You just have perimeter lighting around the fans, keeping it kind of subtle. You do have this big stripe of RGB here, but it is nicely diffused, and I think this is an awesome looking case. These are reverse flow fans on the bottom and on the sides, so you see the better side of all of the fans right off the bat. Plus, you don't have to install these. They're already there. So I would recommend this one. And for $110 from Newegg with fans, this is like $40 off. It's a really good case. As you can see, it is literally $40 off. Basically, when I did not this last Black Friday, but a year before that, I did a collab system with Skytech, and we used the King 95. We did two systems. The higher end system got the King 95 Pro in white. It was really nice. Add to build. There it is. And looking good. Ignore the fact that there's RGB on the hubs here. The real fans don't have that. That would look cool, though, but it's unnecessary, in my opinion. Okay, so CPU. 9800X3D. All right. And if you're thinking like, I got to spend the extra $50 on a 9850X3D, my friend, you can do that. Do I recommend it? Put the $50 elsewhere. We're out trying to get a good kit of RAM and some storage in here. So yeah, save $50 on your CPU, put it towards your storage and RAM. Change it to white RGB, no problem. You could even lower the brightness. Look at that. There you go. That's actually a really clean aesthetic. The black and white with the brightness turned way down. Very nice. You get kind of a Tron aesthetic without the color added to it. In fact, if you want, Dangerix, you know what we could do? All right, bear with me here. We could go with some white internal components. If the black and white on the RGB is what you're going for, go with some white internal components, and that contrast can be super dope. I could show you here if you want to see that. Okay, so let's go with the Strix X870. Should be good. Or we can go Gigabyte Ice. I love the Ice aesthetic. Yeah. The GPU is going to be the only issue. I know that looks gray. It's not just gray. It's white, but yeah. That's just the way it's showing up here, but you get to see that contrast. It's really cool. Usually, when you're looking at like a budget build in a white case, there's a lot of the darker internal components. This is reversing that, and it's very cool. Why isn't the 5080 showing up? Are there no white 50? Yeah, there are. Okay, there we go. Oh, but Gigabyte one is one of them. Okay, it's not. It's okay. $1,800. Well, I'll tell you what. Pick any. Look for a Gigabyte white GPU instead. This is only showing up with this one because it has a 3D model. That's it. They're still adding these. But Gigabyte has a matched ice white 5080. Grab that one instead. And it's probably going to be cheaper than this. Actually, we can look at that. Let's turn off 3D only. Okay, didn't help. But it's out there. That is going to warp our pricing here, but we're still at $2,500. We still have room. Although we still have to get RAM. But you see the vision? You see the vision where that's going to? Yeah? You see where we're going with this? In fact, if you want to keep this GPU, we can go with an Asus motherboard. It just makes it easier to control the RGB on the GPU because you do it through one software rather than. And while I'm not a huge fan of Asus Armory Crate, it is better than Gigabyte's RGB software. So let's swap you to the Asus Strix B580 or no. me see, 229, 239. Why is a B580 cheaper than an X870? That's crazy. Probably a sale on this. You're welcome. Yeah, that's now you got the Asus aesthetic there. There we go. Looking good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Guys, listen. This is a direct result of my intervention here, okay? Instead of having a slider for capacity, they just did this. Thank you, Build Cores. Y'all are dope AF. Thank you. Jeez. All right, what if we go... Why did I go 64? We don't need that. They don't have 48 as an option, but they do actually. Hold on. Yeah, that's much cheaper. Thank you. Now, why is it that I would... Craigham, what's up? How's it going? Hello, Rubu. How you doing? The reason I would go with no RGB for the RAM RGB is the hardest to like figure out a good way to control it. It is so annoying. I usually give up and just get like the G-Skill or the Kingston software to control it because most motherboard softwares, they might see it, they might not. It's really, really annoying. So T-Create Expert, DDR5 6000 CL30 or DDR5 6400 CL32. Which do we do? This is $20 cheaper. That's the one part I didn't get RGB. I went with a Crucial. Crucial's not on my nice list at the moment. I didn't mean to imply I was Santa Claus. That's I'm never beating those allegations, am I? But no, it's yeah, well, he does wear a hat, so you don't always see the hair. Rather avoid RGB on the RAM. Good. There was a while, and it was a nice short-lived period of time where 48 gig kits were cheaper than 32 gig. But the reason that's no longer the case is because there's some kits here that are now. It also could be that there's a lot of 48 gig kits that don't feature the 3D model, which we do need for this. So yeah, see, here we go. There's like one, and it's more expensive. So what you gonna do? What can you do? Okay. I'm going to go with the T-Create Expert solid kit of RAM, DDR5 6000 CL30. Yeah, pretty much same performance between the two in terms of first word latency. So there you go. Nice. You know what? I actually want to build a PC like this now. The inverse, where you have a black case with white components. I really want to do this now. That's awesome. That is really cool. CPU cooler. Wait, what are we at budget-wise now with that? Because we got to get storage still. Okay. How do you feel about this one with the smartphone on it? Air cooler preferred. Okay. Let me help you out here with this. Okay. Air coolers are great. They are. I will soon ask you why you prefer an air cooler, but generally the answers are the same. I don't want leaking. I don't want any moving parts in my cooler, although fans are moving parts even on air coolers, right? I'm used to air coolers. The thing is this your first dual chamber case like this, fish tank style case? The reason I ask that is because this case is not designed for an air cooler, and most side intake cases are just not designed for an air cooler. They're not. They're designed for a big radiator to go up here with fans exhausting out the top. One thing about air coolers that I think doesn't get enough attention is the fact that I wasn't showing the screen there. There, it's designed to have it going out of the top. You're not supposed to have an air cooler in a case like this. It's not going to work as well. Back to main camera. Okay. One thing that I don't think gets enough attention when it comes to the main difference between, one of the main differences in my mind between air coolers and AIOs. AIOs, if they're part of the airflow design, air coolers, if they're part of the airflow design, front to back, intake to exhaust, they can work really well. But if they're not part of the airflow design, they don't do nearly as good of a job at a very critical task as an AIO does, which is, instead of just moving air around the case, exchanging the air within the case. Okay? Like evacuating hot air. They do not do as good a job of that as an AIO does, which is what a dual chamber fish tank style case relies upon. Not just straight up airflow design, right? Laminar flow and all that. No, it relies upon the intake and exchange of air, hot air for cool air. Now, I have a Lian Li fish case currently. If you have been working with an air cooler in there, you have been actually like by design, those cases are meant to have an all-in-one liquid cooler or full-on liquid cooling. They are not meant to have an air cooler. There is an exception. If you have the Lian Li case that has the mesh front panel option and you have moved the fans to the front, you're good to go. And guess what? On this case, you can do exactly that. It comes with a mesh front panel, and this right here pivots out to the front. You have to swap the fans though, because these fans are they're reverse flow. They would be pushing air out of the front instead of intaking air. You want to run this with an air cooler, it can do that. But there's some times where people don't really think of how an air cooler should work. So if you've been running your Lian Li case with fans in all of the spots, you could be bringing in fresh air here and it evacuates here. It gets exhausted here before it ever gets to your air cooler. For an air cooler to fully work, it has to be facing in the direction where the air is coming to. Like the air has to be pointed at it and then have the exhaust coming right out the back. Now, if you are concerned about leaking or breaking down of an AIO, I understand that concern. I do. Have I ever experienced that? Not one time. Never. In terms of leaking. Have I had an AIO go bad to where it's like the fan just goes bad or something like that? Yes. They're not invulnerable. Have I ever had an AIO leak in a system of mine? Not one time. And I've been using them since they first became a thing. And they were way worse back then. They're very, very good now. Does that mean they're impervious? Does that mean you won't get unlucky? That doesn't mean that. It could happen. But the likelihood is like unlikely. I'm sorry, I didn't have anything better for that. Let's look at the one on the screen. All right. Especially considering the price. Look at this thing. Let's compare it to the Asus ROG Ryujin 3 360 ARGB Extreme White Edition. $388. And that's what the screen looks like. Okay. This thing is $144. Thermal Right has been just, what is it? They've just been like, I do bite my thumb at you, sir. Why is that an insult in Romeo and Juliet? Like, you're biting your own thumb. You're harming yourself to insult somebody else. Maybe that's the point. Anyway. Okay, but consider liquid cooler system with a slot for liquid nitrogen cell that you can put in that as radiators going from that cell sends that cooling to the system. Am I just describing the opposite of a nuclear reactor? No, not quite. But if you're interested in a different kind of cooler, Natty, check out the video I did on the phase change cooler from Ice Giant. Not this past CES, but the one before it. So Thermal Right has been basically putting out quality stuff for way cheaper than the competition. I've used Thermal Right in a few of my own builds for the cooler, and it's just like, wow, like this is insane for being $144. So yeah, I can definitely recommend it. I'm surprised since you wanted the no RGB thing that you might be interested in the screen. That was a surprise for me, but having no RGB and the screen on anyway could be kind of cool. We are breaking the mold here with the way that this thing is being designed. And we need a power supply. You're going to want to route these differently. Obviously, you don't want to cover your screen there. Like I would route them to the front and kind of tuck them behind the screenish in a way. But anyways, that's just the way that the 3D system decided to do it. Seriously, this is the coolest Oreo build ever. Ice Giant on a Threadripper looks so good. Tammy, the one I was talking about, though, had the radiator separate, like an AIO, but it didn't have any moving parts. It was very cool. In the Elizabethan era, biting your thumb at someone was akin to flipping them off. It was basically a vulgar and disrespectful. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the history lesson. I actually was interested in hearing that. Thank you. I'm not being facetious. I feel like it sounds like I'm being facetious. I'm not. Bully. Storage now. Let's do power supply first, because I wanted to show how good this power supply is. I love this thing. They have a Montech Century in here. This is like all I'm recommending. With RAM prices and everything else right now, this is just so dope. 1,050 watts. A-rated on the PSU tier list with a platinum cybernetics rating, and it's 109. And it looks good too. Fully modular. Native 12E 2x6. All of the good things. Okay, I'm allowing that one. It's just a harsh letter. I'm actually shocked I like this. I was 100% on set on an all-black stealth build, but this looks so good. It does. Chat, how many times have I done the reverse here? I don't think I've ever done this. And it was all inspired when you were like, hey, set the RGB to white. And I was like, yeah, and let's dim it too. Like, nah, this would be dope. And guess what? I don't recommend, sorry, Astral, by the way, if you're in chat. I don't recommend the Astral GPUs, but this has a light bar going across it that would match everything else. Kind of ridiculous. I appreciate the accent. It was very good. Cheerio. Thank you. I appreciate that. I used to do accents a lot. I don't really do it anymore. In addition to Bean's description, it's not really biting your thumb. You put your thumb under your front teeth and then flick it towards a person. Okay. Like that. I don't mean it, Chad. I'm sorry. I don't mean it. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean that. It was demonstrative. It wasn't me doing that on purpose. I'm sorry. Brits could have just used their middle fingers like the rest of the world, but they love biting their thumbs. Well, apparently they didn't bite their thumbs. I don't know. I don't know why they called it that. Also, wouldn't they just be saying like, hi. How do you talk while doing that? Oh, also, Dangerix, if you change your mind, just buy all the same parts in black. There you go. Storage is going to be the sticking point here. This is where you might have to abandon the Astral GPU and just get any white 5080 that you can get your hands on. That's it. Forget that. We're just doing it for the 3D model here because storage, I want at least 2 terabytes for you, and I want it to be fast. And that means it's going to be like $315. Yes, exactly 314.99. Okay. If you want to know why I'm going for the 2 terabyte Gen 5 drive here when storage is extra expensive, you got to understand that this thing versus the Gen 4 drive that everyone likes to buy for this, a 990 Pro, there we go. Where's a 2 terabyte? Is only $15 more, and it is double the speed. The 990 Pro 2 terabyte is $299.99. It gets like 7,400 megabyte per second sequential read speeds. The 9100 Pro 2 terabyte is $15 more and gets up to 14,000 plus megabyte per second sequential read speeds for $15. And if you're wondering, yes, I regularly have to clean my microphone and pop filter off after these streams. This is and it remains the best deal, unfortunately, in storage right now. Because if you're gonna spend extra on storage, it might as well be like insanely fast. And that's what you're getting here. I've been using these in builds. They're really nice. I haven't done many builds, but I mean, whenever I have the chance to use them, I do. I haven't gotten my hands on the Kingston version yet. I really want to, but like, I don't get to build that often. So, that's it. That's the build. Now, if you drop the price on the GPU by a couple $100, which going with anything other than an Astral, that will happen. Okay. You're under budget. You're good to go. Like the old EVGAs. Yeah, the for the Win 3 Ultras, yes, they had the bar. Never seen a Gen 5 drive with DRAM that good of a deal. Well, Araxinus, before the prices tanked, this thing was like $230, $250 for the 9100 Pro. That's why I was like, yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy that they're keeping it at a competitive price like that. Thank you, whoever's making that happen. I imagine it started, although I have no historical backing here, as an infantile gesture akin to sucking one's thumb, calling them a baby. Maybe so, yeah. Okay, chat. I'm going to start asking y'all to give me a 1 out of 10. It is going to be personal opinions. It's not going to be, give me a 1 out of 10 rating on whether you want this for yourself. 1 out of 10, how did I do on this build? Go ahead. Let's hear it. I'm reading right now. Because you're down there, so. No, it's okay. You don't have to do that. 10 out of 10. Thank you. The one that mattered there, the one rating that mattered was from the person who's going to spend their hard-earned money dollars on this. So, yeah. All right. I like how these are spinning, but the Montec fans for the case decided not to. Is there something I need to do for that? Oh, we can show the side panel. That's cool. It doesn't do a lot, but okay. Cool thing, though. Check this out. When you're doing this, if you find that, they put the reverse flow fans backwards, you just go to case, click on the fan, and hit flip. Now, this shouldn't be flipped because that's going to exhaust fan air out of the case, but just in case you see that, haha, there you go. It's still flipped. I flipped both of them. Hold on. There we go. Fixed it. That is okay. Not gonna lie, that's amazing. The question now for you, Dangerix, is do you get white cable extensions or black cable extensions, or a mix of black and white? Because you can find those on Amazon. 8 out of 10 needs more RAM. I'm not going to time you out, Natty, but I will leave that up to chat whether you should be timed out for that or not. 8 out of 10. Screen on the AIO is too big for my tastes. But for $144, Natty's joking. It doesn't need more RAM. If you're just gaming, 32 gigs is plenty. Unless you're playing Escape from Tarkov, I guess. By the way, Caliber, I missed that posture check before, but thank you. Yeah, if you're playing Escape from Tarkov, spend less on your GPU, spend more on your RAM, because they don't know how to optimize their game, apparently. But yeah. I would have bought a separate screen, but otherwise, great build. Well, that can still be a thing, I suppose. I don't think it's needed here, though. This is such a good build. I don't know. This is good. I like it. Cool factor, definitely awesome. 5 out of 10 for me, not my style. Fair. That's fair. I think if you end up having to get like a black GPU and or just certain things, I think that could take a little bit away from it. But I think this turned out really nice. I think it's good. Yeah, switch to the black one to see what it looks like. I'll do that. That should be pretty quick. Hold on. That might be a little cleaner because all the fans are in black. Is that what you were thinking? Why do I have to say your name? Like, y'all know that, like, I don't want to say Da Spanker. Why did you just do that to me? Da Spanker. That's who you are now. Okay? That's my declaration here. You're Da Spanker now. Dangerix, it's my gamer tag. That's fine. Dospinker is I'm not sure where it comes from. Is that Finnish? Okay. Does anyone know how to optimize the game anymore? Yeah, actually. Helldivers 2. They do know how to do it. It is possible. Those are hard to replace here in my market. Fractal cases sell for over like $299 without fans or other accessories. Oh my god, really? I mean, the Fractal North is really nice, but that's a crazy price. Okay, you can switch this to the white one just when you go and buy it. All good. But there you go. Let me link the build to you. There you go. That was a good one. That's my Pokemon Catch Master list. That was a fun one. That was a really fun one. Warframe, over 10 years of content, barely over 50 gigs in storage, and runs at 60 FPS on my PC with all the settings at minimum, but running on my PC at 60 FPS stable is a miracle. I've seen the specs. This is true. Can confirm. Torrent is going for 280 with one rear fan. Tanmate, it doesn't have the 180s in there? That's like one of the core parts of that case. I wonder if you'll get over there the BF 360. See, I didn't even do a dumb joke there. Okay, I'm not a one-trick pony here. I'm like 2 or 3 tricks at least. At least. Okay? I had to think for a while on that one. Well, okay. What do I do now? Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Something that is going to be this one is going to be a warning to all about the value of the 30th anniversary Pokemon Day box here. Unless you're really into the well, I don't know. I mean, these things are going to be out forever, but I just watched a video from someone talking about like the worst product of 2025. This is going to be one of the ones for 2026. Mostly because of the price. Remember, while there are definitely bad products out there, most of the time it's really just bad pricing. And that's what this is. I love the Syntec keyboard, but I need to switch to a wireless one there so I don't have to keep plugging it in and unplugging it. You recommended a pre-built to me a few years ago. I bought it and loved it. You give great advice, but I lost it in the spring due to house fire. I'm so sorry to hear that. That sucks. That really sucks. Man. I'm sorry to hear that. And it's the timing too. Like right now, or at least if you've waited this long, it's a really rough time to buy a PC. But pre-builts are the way to go if you're going to, usually. Unless you just have a lot of budget around and you don't mind losing some performance that you wouldn't otherwise get with that budget. Yeah, pre-builts are the way to go. But I have since added Pokemon stuff to my content. I hope that doesn't put you off, but it's been so rough in the industry. I am diversifying. Let's put it that way. I'm not stopping with the pre-built content, though. No presence of the BF360. That is too bad. To me, the BF360 is a spiritual successor to the Torrent 10A. The only thing it's lacking is that bottom intake, but there is a kind of bottom intake to it. In terms of like the way that they shape the air and guide it. About Dangerix, let us know how the build turns out, and feel free to hang out as much as you want, learn more about PC stuff and all of that. I mean, it's not your first rodeo with PCs, but hey. I'm going to start this one out here in full cam mode so zooming can happen. Sorry, chat. Y'all got to go away for a second. Let's just put our little me right there. It's not really the card you'd want to necessarily display, but I love it. It's great. Or I put this guy right here. I knocked him over. Still here all night, my dude. You got it. So let's give a nice little warning about this here product. Okay. Center again. I keep wanting to sort of drift to this side, but I honestly need to move my desk over more. But it's fine. It's fine like this. Oh, I don't have any more space in that SD card. That's why it's not recording on it. All good. I might have not finished. I might have not stopped recording at some point. Either way, this audio should be fine. Yeah. Okay. If you like watching Pokemon content or you like the TCG, you've probably been like a lot of other enthusiasts in that hobby, really excited about the 30th anniversary of Pokemon and Pokemon Day and all of that. And I will say that there should be some really exciting stuff coming up this year. This isn't it. This is the Pokemon Day 2026 30th anniversary Pokemon Day collection. And it was $40 at GameStop. $40, $39.99. There are probably cheaper ways to buy this, I'm sure, but you might just be at GameStop being like, oh, I got to get that. I got to get that. Let's talk about what's in it and why you shouldn't get it. Oh, yeah, it's down here. I zoomed in a little bit here. Whoa, hold on, buddy. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. Now, I'll say right away that the only time you should buy this thing is if you collect special coins, Pokemon coins that come in ETBs and UPCs and all of that. In tins, maybe. If you collect the coins, this might be the only way to get the 30th anniversary coin. It might not be. But for $39.99, getting a admittedly cute Pikachu holo foil stamped promo, stamped promo could be cool for you, I suppose. But then you just get 3 booster packs with this. 3 booster packs. Phantasmal Flames and Mega Evolutions. It looks like 1 Phantasmal Flames, 2 Mega Evolutions for $39.99. This is not the kind of, this is where you vote with your wallet and you just say like, no. I know we're sometimes desperate for sealed products to open and have fun. I just don't feel like this is worth it. I don't yet collect the coins. I mean, maybe someday I will, but let's go ahead and open this thing and at least see if I can get lucky with it. I did end up buying this to make this video and talk about it. So let's see if maybe I at least got lucky. I just don't want to get, okay, I'm not going to say I really don't want to get a big hit from this. And I don't want to encourage, it's 2 packs of Phantasmal Flames, 1 pack of Mega Evolutions. I just don't want to encourage you guys to get this unless you really want that coin. Let's see if this is a plastic or a metal coin. That could be a difference maker for it. It's plastic. That is cool looking and all, but it is plastic. Oh, sorry. I got tails, if that matters to you. I don't think this is worth $40, personally. I leave that up to you to decide for yourself, but not really for me. Now, the promo card is exceedingly cute, all right? And you got your stamp for the 2026 Pokemon Day, all right? But it's, again, this is a $40 product at GameStop. If you can get it for like $20, then you know what? This is absolutely worth it for that. Well, let's talk about the element of chaos in this, the element of luck and randomness let's look at that element here by opening these packs. I do have 2 chases for Mega Evolutions, which is why I have Mega Mondays. I am trying to get the triptych of Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur illustration rares. I already have the stamped Bulbasaur from an enhanced booster box. Well, let's see what we get out of this. This 1 Mega Evolutions pack that we get with this. Mega Evolutions base set. All right. Okay, we got our energy, rare candy, young goose, ice cube. I've got all of these. Bayleaf, Garganicle, however you say it. Mega Signal, Shedinja. I have an illustration rare for that. Reverse Shiftry. That might be an upgrade for Shiftry in the Pokedex. Reverse Premium Power Pro and Holo Lunatone. Nothing there. The Shiftry reverse might be an upgrade. That's about it. And I can't even be sure about that. I have to go check. Now, Phantasmal Flames. The subset Phantasmal Flames. Some really good chase cards in this. I haven't ripped all that much Phantasmal Flames, but, let's see what we get out of pack number 1 here. I might be too zoomed out on this. That's better. Sorry, chat. Basic Energy, Zigzagoon, Misdreavus, Toxel, Lotad, Wondrous Patch, Granbull, Bronzong, Reverse Toxel, Reverse Bronzong, Yo, with the Oricorio EX. Ultra rare. Look at that. Not okay. All right. Fine. I'm not completely swayed yet. I do have a really nice looking Oricorio illustration rare promo that I got from I think it was the Mega Charizard X EX UPC. This doesn't beat that. So this is not going in the Pokédex, but it is very good. The other one's Shinji Kanda. Okay, like it's a really, really nice looking card. But that's a hit. That's one hit. All right. And final pack. You know what? Why not? Let's get some last pack mojo going on here and see if we can get anything else out of this. I still haven't pulled the big chases out of this set, and that's, you know, it's fine. I've gotten some really good cards though. Yeah, I agree about the metal coin. 100%. I agree. Oh, sorry. I 100% agree about the metal coin. It would make it so much more valuable. That's I'm sure everyone agrees on that. Okay, basic energy, of course. Darumaka, Lotad, Bolton, Baniri, Jumbo Ice Cream, Wigglytuff, Bronzong, Carvana Reverse, Apom Reverse, and Ambipom Hollow. Well, okay, it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst thing ever. But still, regardless. Hold on. This is always hard to do. Sorry. Oh my God. Stop. Am I tripping right now? There. Okay. Well, you know what? It wasn't a total loss, I suppose. But listen, this is not, if you're trying to get this because you just want to open one of everything, I get it. But there's no guarantee you're going to get any full art, anything. These two sets, Mega Evolution and Phantasmal Flames, are not new. I don't know why they use those. This could have been an Ascended Heroes product and been 10 times cooler because we're all trying to get that right now because it's the latest set. Why for Pokemon Day 2026 are we doing 2025 sets? Am I crazy? Get in the comments. Let me know if I'm wrong or crazy or dumb. That's fine. But I think I'm right on this one. Okay. I just wanted to get that one out of the way. I don't want that to be part of the wheel anymore. I don't like having a sad face on any of my wheel stuff. And what a waste of $40. Oh, it would help if I had a keyboard connected right now. I might eventually collect the coins, but there's just way too many coins to collect. It's a lot. What a garbage purchase that I made there. And I made it knowing like, oh, this is bad. This is going to be terrible. I'm not going to be happy about this. Why am I buying this? And there I was buying it. But when I told the GameStop person, like, I'm going to make a video that people shouldn't buy this. I'm sorry. They're like, the guy was there by himself. He was like, no, that's real. That's real. I was like, okay, all right. Remember this, guys. If you go to GameStop and you harass someone who just like works there because you don't like certain GameStop policies and pricing, you're the problem there. Don't do that. They're just trying to do a job. Okay? Kindness first, always, when it comes to actually dealing with real people. If you think a company is bad, imagine if you worked for them. Okay? That's what they are going through. No presence of BF360, or is that old news and you have concrete walls too? We don't have concrete walls, no. What do you mean? If you want, we can look at that pre-built comparison to the build we just made just to compare. I was actually about to sign off, Dangerix. I was about to cut off here. Usually at or around midnight centrals when I do that. But no, I don't. I don't know. I don't know. You're not going to find anything like what we built for sure, going pre-built, and you're not going to find anything higher end than a 5080. And the only thing higher than a 9800X 3D would be like a 9850X 3D, and that is not enough performance increase to make up for the price increase. So I think we did about as good as we can, just because like you're at that point where at $3,500 you can't get to a 5090, and 5080 you don't get much higher than that. The building is not too bad still then. Right. And it's because of specific kits like the kit of RAM that we found for you, where it's like at $500. You got to understand there are $700 32 gig kits. And it looks like some stock has entered the market that has helped with that, thankfully. I just realized I'm not going to be streaming Sunday or Tuesday. So if I tell someone, hey, come back Sunday or Tuesday, I can't do that. This banker, the problem is I don't know what you're looking for in terms of the questions that everybody else answers in the form, and you didn't fill out the form. So I think what you're talking about there is, of course, a computer. I don't know what your budget is, max budget. I don't know what your needs are, what you're going to use the PC for. That's what all of this stuff is for. But the thing is, if I cut you off here, you have to wait a full week. It's not a ticket. It's just answering all the questions that I would otherwise have to sit here asking you. And I mean, I guess I could do that. But yeah, if you look at the chat, and I'll show you here, as you've been here, even if I'm doing other stuff, it's been telling you, hey, here, click this link, fill out the form. Click this link, fill out the form. It's been telling you that. You know what I mean? But I think most people ignore these until it's pointed out for you, right? Like, it's not unusual. It's not uncommon for that to be the case. But yeah, only if you can wait. I'm going on a vacation after this stream. Like on Saturday, I'm going on vacation and not coming back till Wednesday. So the next stream is going to be Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. If you can wait that long, then sure. If you can't, I'll stick around and I'll do yours. Just try to get the form filled out for me, okay? Before, we would just ask questions in chat, and it would be just a chat message thing. That was so bad. I should have just done a Google form this whole time. No. Oh, no. Don't do that. Sorry, I spinned the wheel when I didn't mean to spin the wheel. I got to save this. Hold on. Save. There we go. No, knowing your situation, I don't want to make you wait. And knowing that prices could get worse and things can run out. Ominous applause in the background. What was ominous about the applause? The Spanker, just if you don't mind, just fill out the form real quick. It's a SkyTech pre-built. It'll be quick. Now, I'm hoping you're not looking at it on like Amazon. If you've heard my advice before, I recommend going directly to the system integrator, right? Buying directly through them rather than through a third-party seller. I'm so excited. Poker Night, the inventory is coming back to Steam. Scalpers flipping their lid because up until the announcement, they were selling keys for the game for massive price gouges. Seriously? That's crazy. That's horrible. A game code? Wow. Scalpers will scalp anything people want. Like, they do not care. $10 is crazy. Wow. Okay, there we go. We got it. Okay. Disbanker, what's the actual max budget for you out of the 1,500 to 2,000? And you said, okay, I thought you were going to put a link here for the system, but okay. Yeah, the whole Amazon thing, I had some gift cards. You still get support from Skytech, even if you buy their system from Amazon, but by definition, the parts will be cheaper. The reason is Amazon takes a massive cut of the profit margin just for the privilege of Skytech putting the PC on their site. So in order for Skytech to still make money, they have to put cheaper parts in it compared to a similar system on their site. But as long, like, I'm not telling you that to make you feel bad about wanting to use your Amazon gift cards. Like, sure. It's just making sure you're aware of that going in. Yeah, no, beat me with a wet noodle. I'm sorry, I don't know you well enough. We're just not there yet. Okay, so there was a place to put the link for the system, though. It did say that. I know you rushed through the form, but at the bottom here it says if there's a specific system that you're looking at, specific pre-built PC, please share it here. But since you're on Twitch, you can just send me the link. Just click my name, click send whisper, and send it over to me directly. That's usually a problem more if someone is watching on YouTube, because YouTube has no DMing thing. So they used to way back in the day. Just need the link to that system. There it is. No, that's not what I meant to do, but all right. Okay, now I do have to go back and forth with this. So let's see here. For your form, you said you are gaming, streaming, racing sim / flight sim. Okay. The main hangup I would have here is the streaming side. Well, okay, gaming, no problem. 1440p gaming with this combo of parts, not a problem. Okay, 7000 X3D and 9070, good combo. I need to look at the rest of the parts here. 2 terabyte Gen 4 drive. Thank you, Skytech. 360 AIO. Let's see. 32 gigs DDR5 6000. Now, if you're looking for really high frame rate, 1440p, honestly, my choice would be to go with a lower end CPU and maybe try to go up a tier on the GPU, but there's really not a lot of options to do that here. I'll say if we could go to Skytech directly, we could probably find a better combo there, but that's not an option, and that's okay. So this is not bad. This is not bad. Let's see, 850 watt gold, ATX 3.0 PSU, 32 gigs of RAM, all the good stuff. 9070 still has 16 gigs of VRAM. It's just not quite as fast as a 9070 XT. That adds a couple $100 to the price. It used to be a $50 price difference between a 9070 and a 9070 XT, and that is just growing and growing, unfortunately. So here's the thing. You have no idea what motherboard you're going to get in this system. And if I can see a more detailed spec list, that'd be great. Because I just need to see if it's a full ATX motherboard listed. It does not say. Maybe here? AMD. You don't say. Yeah, we don't know what kind of motherboard it is. I have no idea. Hold on. Maybe nope. See, they had direct control over. I'm gonna yell at Jeff about this. They have direct control of what they list here, and they chose not to list even whether it's B850M or something. Right? It's all I need to know. Because of this, look. One of the main issues you're going to run into going with a random motherboard and trying to do not just streaming, but racing sim / flight sim, which usually involves connecting a bunch of stuff for either of those pursuits, right? And you've got whatever few USB ports come on the back of the motherboard and then the ones that are on the outside of the case. But then if you have a full-size ATX motherboard, you can add one of these. This is a PCIe add-in card that adds a bunch of USB ports, has its own dedicated controllers on the card, does not require external power from the power supply, just gets the power from the PCIe bus, and is basically USB port, direct to controller, direct to PCIe. It does not have to go through a secondary USB controller like with a hub that introduces a bunch of latency, which we don't want for gaming, right? But that's my only holdback here. The good thing is you have amazing returnability here with Amazon. So if you take this thing out and you find that it's a full-size case with an itty-bitty motherboard that you can't add a bunch of stuff to, right? or any other issue you might have. You box it right back up, you send it right back to them and say, hey, I'm returning this because not enough information was given. I did not want it with that motherboard. Well, the problem is, yeah, some of the comments might have pictures, but it could be different for each one because they don't list it. Because they don't list it, they cannot falsely advertise what kind of motherboard is in there, and they can put whatever motherboard they want. And in a market like this, sometimes that's necessary. It's the same reason they don't tell you what brand of GPU you're going to get. You want to try to get 5,000 of a specific GPU in a global shortage, it's just not happening. See, this doesn't show the bottom of the motherboard, so there's that. This one is just the outer box. It just shows there was a little damage on the box. Oh, this is so stupid. Sorry, I wasn't showing the screen. So that just doesn't show the bottom of the motherboard. This guy just took a picture of how his box got dinged up. And then he says, don't buy this trash. The glass was broken. Like, shipping. It's shipping damage. Just get it fixed. Like, if it took a big hit, yes, small things might stop working. You might have an issue. But what I'm thinking is this: they didn't connect their Wi-Fi antenna, and if you don't do that, your Bluetooth connection is going to suck. Yeah, you can't always trust reviewers because honestly, they're just sometimes just really bad at what they do. Also, these pictures are Skytech will take pictures that don't fully reflect the system you're going to get. This shows an M-ATX motherboard and a full ATX case. That is basically showing you like the worst case scenario. Mostly they put ATX motherboards in ATX cases. That's how they do things. But we just can't say. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. Otherwise, look, it's fine. Like I said, go for it if you want to. Also, look for one of these. It's just PCIe. Here we go. Hold on 1 second. So you would like probably be safer getting one like this one right here, because this one doesn't assume that you have a PCIe X4 or 4-lane PCIe connection. It's just PCIe X1, 1 lane, but and your max speed is going to be 5 gigabit per second. But look at the price on this, $27.22. There you go. So something like this, add something like this. Just you can just copy what I have here. Now here you go. I'll put this text in chat, and then you can just put that in your in your Amazon search, and add one of those to your purchase, because knowing the situation that is created by Amazon and Newegg and Costco and Best Buy and any third-party seller that did not build the PC for you, they get a fat cut of that profit margin. And that means you will have a scaled down motherboard, scaled down power supply. Just know it going in, and then you will be prepared. This way, you can ensure that you have enough I/O for your sim rig, if that's what you're doing. I know you said you just play Forza, right? But for streaming, for your Stream Deck pedals, webcam, all of those extra things. I'm just scratching the surface: microphone, headset, audio interface, all of the things that you end up connecting for a stream. You're gonna need USB, like a lot of it, and you don't want to put it on a hub. That's bad for latency, which is bad for streaming. A little bit of advice for you there. But yeah, get it. Go for it. If it's bad, return it. You have a great return policy with Amazon. I just put sure in the end there. There you go. All right. That went well. Sorry about that. I remember this. I'm not being judgy just because you're not buying directly from SkyTech. I can't tell you where to buy your stuff from. That's not up to me. And there are times where people are like, I buy my electronics on my Best Buy credit card. Okay. I just want to make sure you're informed. Do I make it sound bad? It's because sometimes it can be pretty bad. But SkyTech has a better history of that when it comes to Amazon. I will say that. They're the best option pretty much for PCs on there. IMHO. So hope this helps. And thanks for coming back. I'm glad you feel like, comfortable with or confident in my advice. I was really just here giving you the thumbs up. That's pretty much it. I'm really tired. I know I usually raid guys, but I have still a lot to do after this. I'm just going to call it here. I know I usually raid guys, but I have a lot. Sorry. But I'm going to call it here. I will be back to streaming on Thursday. So a week from tonight. I'll see you guys then. And hey, while I'm in San Antonio and Austin and just traveling around doing stuff like that, I might find some cool card shops and maybe find some cool stuff. So yeah, I'll maybe come back with more Pokemon stuff. But really, I'm out there to take a vacation and relax a little bit with my girlfriend. She is very deserving of that. Yeah, just want to give her, have some quality time and just go eat good food and relax. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and week next week. And until then, take care. Well, see you Thursday. Until then, take care. That made more sense. Okay. Bye-bye.
Let's go, nerds!